Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around Weekly, a podcast in which we will discuss the most important shows, the best matches and the hottest topics in Japanese women's pro wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the show. Hello everyone, to episode 6 of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. We are recording on October 14th. Today we will have a bit of a news section, talking about the Sareee situation and her match with Syuri. After that we will cover the Stardom Korakuen show from October 11th. Then we're gonna review the Marigold Korakuen show from October 13th. After that, Eric is going to take us through the Tokyo Chocopro show from October 12th. And then we will enter the Indie Zone. We are going to go through Marvelous, Friday Night Gacha, EVO, Ice Ribbon, Diana, Chocopro, and whatever else we got time for. And then we're going to do a little match of the week. And yeah, that's basically it. Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
I could be doing better. How about you?
Yeah, same. We both had a bit of a shitty day, huh?
Yeah,
that happens.
It's just all go. Super busy at the moment. Lots going on. I saw you were in I forgot to talk to you about it. I saw you were in the trenches in some Discords the other day about MJF. I think it was on Saturday. It was like a Saturday evening, and you were just you were fighting a war. Are you okay?
I don't know. I was just lazy on my couch, scrolling Discords.
The best time to argue about MJF's talent.
Oh boy, yeah, it's hopeless, but whatever. Yeah. How was your Taylor Swift week? Did you enjoy the new record?
It's good. I've isolated some of my favorite songs now and got rid of the ones I don't like. I've updated my tier list as well. If anyone wants a tier list of every single Taylor Swift song, then just let me know and I will send it to you. And I've been brushing up on my music trivia just in case you jump scare me today. So I'm prepared for everything. I know who the Smiths are. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't read too much.
No. I didn't do a deep dive. No.
Yeah, the singer is a bit of a dickhead, or much of a dickhead. But.
Oh, that's the Wait, is that Morrissey?
Yes.
Okay. Hell yeah. See, I even remember.
Yeah, but I think you're good for today. I can't remember noting any special songs and entrances. I think we covered a vast amount of like wrestlers who have weird 90s rock songs.
I am not going to fall for your tricks this time, Tim. I'm prepared.
We'll see. I actually listened to some of the Taylor Swift album too.
Oh yeah? Which song did you like? If any?
I actually didn't think it was too bad. There was quite some discourse online, like even in my YouTube recommendations about the new album. I don't think everyone is really that high on it apparently, but
yeah, it's probably one of, now that I've listened to it more, at first I thought it was one of her better albums, and now I think it's one of her, when I did my tier list, I realized, holy shit, some of her other albums were so sick. Like Red, I actually don't think there's a bad song on Red, which is, especially the Vault versions as well, the Taylor's versions. So. But on this one, there's like half the album that I could just never listen to again, and I'd be okay with it, which is kind of a weak album for Taylor. Did you have any favorites?
I listened to the first couple of tracks. I thought the first one probably.
That's
the first
right,
three or so I thought were pretty nice actually.
Yeah.
The one where she's constantly talking about never being wrong because she got a bigger dick or something.
Oh yeah, father figure. Yeah.
That one I found a bit annoying, so that's when my journey stopped.
Yeah, Ophelia is very good. That's the first one, Fate of Ophelia.
Yeah, probably that one.
Yeah, very good.
Anyway, yeah, should we get into the wrestling then?
Yeah, I think we should.
I guess we should, yeah. So our first big topic of the week was, of course, Sareee. She had a rather important IWGP Women's Championship defense. Of course, it was the big match against Alex Windsor on Ring of Honor TV on October 9th, 2025. What did you think about the match?
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, I didn't know we were going to talk about that match. kind of jump scared me. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was anything amazing. I thought it was like the floor of a good Sareee match, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought the Uranage looked very scary. I understand why she doesn't always do it now.
Yeah, that was funny. She didn't. I think Alex Windsor just didn't flip. You know, you're supposed to you like flip forwards during the bump.
Yeah.
She just sort of like took it like a driver almost.
Yeah, that's true. But obviously I'm just playing around. The actual big match we have to talk about is, of course, the Syuri match from New Japan's King of Pro Wrestling 2025. On October 13th, they opened the show on a very shortly announced match. It was announced on Friday, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
So, like 3 days before the show. And they got quite some time, considering it's a women's match on a New Japan show. They got 15 minutes. And Syuri beat her. What did you think of this one?
The match or what's going on around the match?
I think we can talk about the match rather quickly, and then we...
So the match itself was, I thought it was really fucking good. I think it was let down a bit by the atmosphere, and I think both Sareee and Syuri's styles don't work too well when they're on a time constraint, which obviously they still got 14 minutes, which isn't bad, but I think they work better more in the 20 plus minute range for both of them. There were a lot of Sareee and Syuri calls from the crowd, which I thought was cool, from New Japan crowd, who, you know, you would think were not familiar with them, but were. There was a lot of slip-ups for both these wrestlers, which you don't normally see. So I think Sareee had like quite sloppy... She was like jumping on the ropes and doing a foot drop, I guess, standing on Syuri, and she slipped on the ropes. And then later, Sareee was going for her power bomb, and just really struggled to get Syuri up. So it wasn't as clean as these two normally are. But do you remember when we were talking last week about the Mutalok and Shan Shan?
Yes.
And we were wondering how Sareee gets out of it. How Saree's opponents do, and yes, it looks like she just lets go of her. That's what happened here with Syuri, at least. So I answered that. I like the stiff slaps that both of them gave each other. That was obviously one of the, they're really good at beating the shit out of each other, aren't they? Yeah. And then the last nitpick I guess I had was about worked headbutts. So, you know, when people do worked headbutts, I think everyone needs to copy Kento Miyahara. Do you know what I'm talking about with Kento's worked headbutts?
Yeah.
So
yes, awesome headbutts.
Yeah, so it took me, I'm not ashamed to admit this, guys. I might be the only one to admit it, but there are other people in this position. But it took me over 2 years to realize how he works his headbutts. Do you know how he works them? Like how he gets the sound?
Not really.
Oh, okay. So
now that you mention it, it's not, I'm not quite sure. I haven't watched a Kento match in like a year now.
Yeah. So pretty much every match he does now, like he does a series of work headbutts around the ring, and he just like headbutts you, and then you go flying around the ring, all four corners.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how he gets the sound is he stomps his foot at the millisecond that he makes contact with the headbutt. Like literally the exact millisecond. It is perfection. And it took me so long to figure it out until I saw him. I was like watching his leg and I was like, wow, that is majestic. It's legendary. And he does it outside the ring as well because it makes a better sound than in the wrestling mat. I don't know how he figured that out, but anyway, everyone needs to copy that because the worked headbutts that everyone else does, it doesn't really work for me. By the way, it doesn't mean I want people to shoot headbutt. I'm not advocating for that. I just think people should do the worked headbutts a bit better or not do them at all. If that makes sense. I don't know what you think about that.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, I could generally do... Yeah, I don't want to say I could do without the headbutts because it always makes for a great fucking moment.
Yes. Yeah.
But, if they figure out a great way to do the shoot headbutts like Kento, that would probably be better.
The worked headbutts, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They worked once.
Yeah. Apart from that, so Syuri did the shoot head. Well, she did a shoot headbutt. It's not like she didn't do any in these. into three Uranagis. There wasn't a wrist clutch, which I really liked about the match because Sareee really protects the wrist clutch Uranagi. so she didn't get it off once this whole match. And I don't know if you've noticed in both the ring. I almost said AEW. In both the Ring of Honor and this crowd as well, whenever Sareee does the Uranagi, the crowd pops. So like it's one of those moves where you get people into the match even if they don't necessarily like, know both wrestlers. And yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I agree with your point about the time. I think Sareee and Syuri have they have this certain style, I guess, or like there's certain spots or moments in the match that they gotta work towards, and if they gotta kind of 15 minutes is a lot of time, but it still felt like they rushed towards these spots at some points. Like Sareee just doing the straight Uranagis, three of them in a row, I think, and Syuri kicking out. That's like the most epic, climax.
Yeah.
I think they did it pretty similarly on the conversion match, and that was like a giant, great moment. But like if it happens 12 minutes into a match instead of 31 minutes into a match, it doesn't feel as impactful, I guess. So
absolutely.
So that's kind of what I thought. It kind of reminded me I don't know if you ever saw the Tam and Kairi match.
I did.
On a Wrestle Kingdom that got 4.5 minutes. They did the same. They had this match in mind with these big moments, and they just had to compress it. So there was a violet screwdriver kick out at 2.5 minutes, and that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work as well as when it's building to this great climax moment of this giant kick out of one of the most protected moves. So that's kind of my thoughts. I thought the slip-ups, I didn't notice them as negatively when I watched the match. I think you're right about the crowd. I took that as a positive, actually. I heard someone review the match today who was very hard on that, said that the crowd was completely dead the entire time. I didn't think so at all.
Oh no, there were tons of Sareee and Syuri calls. They definitely weren't as loud as the conversion, but they were calling for the names.
Yeah, and they even booed Sareee again,
they did, yeah,
points in the match, which kind of got lost from the Stardom crowds. I think we're gonna maybe get into that later anyway, but yeah, I thought it was a good match. I didn't think it touches the other two, honestly.
It wasn't close.
But still very, very good. I haven't watched the rest of the show yet, to be honest. I saw some parts of the main event. Would you say it was where would you rank it on the rest of the New Japan show?
I have it as the same as their G1 match. So I don't have it as close to match of the year contender or whatever Dave was saying. One of the best matches of the year, but I thought it was still a really good match.
Oh yeah, I meant where would you rank Syuri and Sareee amongst the other matches on the show?
Second or third. So I thought Takeshita was the best match on the show, and then the tag match, with Knockout Brothers and Shota and Yuya, and then after that, I'll either joint with the tag match or just below them I'd have Sareee and Syuri.
All right, yeah, sounds good. Okay, so obviously the big thing about this match is the weird announcement 3 days before. It is okay, let me maybe preface this section by saying we are not any kind of journalists. We don't have any sources. We just soak things up by osmosis on the internet. And we can give our opinions, I guess, but that's nothing more. It's all speculation, essentially. I think what is pretty clear and obvious is that some plans must have changed. I don't think this was always the intended show for this match to happen on. And it's quite likely that this was it for Sareee in Stardom for the foreseeable future, I guess. There's rumors she might pop up on the big Marigold show at the end of the month. They have two open spots, I guess, two X's, or what do you call it?
Well, they're X's, but one is being marketed starting with an S, so that's the speculation.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah,
What do you think about it, Tim? What do you think happened?
Where do we start with it? Yeah, I think there's a couple of like very so we got a couple of things that are very like speaking towards something. We got, on one hand, we got Saya deleting tweets about Sareee a couple of weeks ago, and seemingly all the build towards any kind of Saya and Sareee match dying down. We got, obviously, Sareee announced that she will do a big show at the, was it the
is it Buntai? It's either Yokohama Buntai or Budokan. No, I'm pretty sure it's Buntai.
Not quite sure. Anyway, so I think the most common rumor is that she wanted to have Saya versus Syuri main event this show, and that for some reason fell through. So when that fell through, she wanted to get out of the company as soon as possible. It is possible that they kind of promised her the Saya match when before she first came in, and now that Saya has become this insanely popular and important for the company, they kind of reneged on that. I think maybe they decided to elongate Saya's red belt reign for longer than they initially planned, and so they can't have Saya lose on some random show before next year's All-Star Grand Queendom, because the Sareee show would be like a couple of weeks before the biggest Stardom show of the year, and they want to protect Saya until then. The thing that really doesn't add up to me about this whole thing is that Sareee is this much of a hardhead, I guess, about beating Saya on her show. I'm not sure that her losing to Saya on the show is a bigger detriment for Sareee than essentially canceling the Stardom partnership as a whole and not having Sareee on the show at all, and having to maybe get Mayu and go back to Marigold. I don't know how the pay structure was for her in Stardom. I don't know if she can make the same amounts of money when she's not in Stardom. I don't know how the pay structure is in Marigold either, so I don't know where the money comes from there. I don't want to speculate about that either, but like in my mind, the negatives of letting all this Stardom relationship fall through is way higher than just losing a match on her big produce show in March next year instead of winning it. So that's kind of why, I mean, you never know with wrestlers. They have this really weird sense of pride about losing and winning on specific shows as well. So you can't really completely negate that factor. And it's always been like the rumor too with Syuri that she has like these folks like influencing her, like she has some agent or her manager who like makes very weird and stupid decisions sometimes for her, and that's why certain things fall through. I've also read that maybe Hotta and Kaoru or whoever from T-Hearts are constantly in her ear about things, so you never know about this stuff. I think Sareee is a grown woman. I think she can make these decisions on her own, but you never know what the situation is there with her managers and stuff. Yeah. Well, what do you think about all this?
I was just going to ask you, so is that your most likely theory for what happened, that she didn't want to lose to Saya on her big show next March or whatever it is?
I'm actually starting to believe more in another theory that I was going to bring up.
All right, go for that. Hit me.
All right. So this is maybe a bit of a more serious topic then. Let me say this first, because and I think it is really, really important for us as a community to take this like as seriously as we possibly can, especially in our community. Yeah, I think that any wrestler, but most certainly like a women's wrestler in Japan, if they feel like the abuse they're getting from fans in real life or on social media is getting too much, and when it's getting to them personally, I think it's very important that we respect a decision for them to either step back entirely from the situation or like change the way they want to have any kind of heel heat or whatever. I don't think this is a situation where like nostalgic fans for like times when wrestlers got stabbed on the way to the ring, or like entire riots broke out for heels, and people think that's so awesome and we need to get back to that heat. I disagree with that. I think it is very important that the mental health of the performers is first and foremost the most important thing, and whenever they feel personally uncomfortable with something, we should take that seriously and respect their decision, whatever it may be. And the thing is, so there's been going around like this rumor that she has received death threats and stuff from Stardom fans.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was the reason why she wanted to turn down the heat entirely and why Stardom fans stopped booing her entirely, then and maybe that's the reason why she wanted to get out of the whole situation entirely, then that would make a lot of sense to me, and I respect that.
So that's your most probable theory of what happened. So just for context, I guess. So I think we're both on the same page that she began this run at the start of the year with a heel character in mind, right?
Absolutely.
So when she was doing her interviews in the media, so this was before Sareeism chapter, whatever it is, the one with Syuri in March, where she was clearly, starting a heel character and getting to Syuri and stuff like that ahead of that 30-minute time limit draw. And that was building into their rematch for the conversion, where around the conversion is where she really dialed it up a ton, because that's when she started poking Saya Kamitani on Twitter, and that's when, they booked the Saya Kamitani and Natsukatora against Spark Rush on the Sareeism show in July. So I think I would need something. I don't even know what would be able to change my mind that Sareee wasn't doing a heel character to begin with. I think it's like firm in my mind. Yeah, it's firm in mind that she was doing that. But that's not to say that she wasn't anticipating the heat it would actually get. And just for context, heels like Saree's run during the 5-star aren't common in Japan nowadays. I think that was probably the only heel run of that type in the country. Like, I can remember in a while. You've obviously been watching along in the meantime. I don't know if you remember a heel run like that.
Not in Joshi, at least.
Yeah. So it was like a one-of-a-kind heel run. It got a fuck ton of heat. So I read the Chocopro magazine every week. Well, not read. I translate certain articles I'm interested in every week. And it was really difficult to read a Chocopro issue without seeing some article or feature about Sareee getting booed. It was fucking everywhere. And all the wrestlers were talking about it. Wrestlers from other promotions as well. It was all you could see. So the heat it got was astonishing. So it wouldn't surprise me, and I think I'm also leaning towards the theory that the heat might have gotten a bit too much, and there may be some like vicious reactions because social media, and that happens in Joshi before. We've seen it before, obviously, with Hanakamura. And so if Sareee wanted out because of that, that kind of makes sense. But I still think she was intending to do a heel character, but it maybe got a bit out of hand. And why I'm going for that theory as well is because after the 5-star, Taro Okada, the Stardom either booker or organizer, president, whatever you want to call him, he did a 2-page spread in Chocopro, and it was the most obvious like heat generating feature you could ever see. It was so obvious that he was building Sareee up as like a main character to be dethroned. He was like, we need to build someone up. We can't just let people, talk shit about Stardom. Someone needs to take her down. He was clearly building someone up for that, whether that was Saya Kamitani or Syuri, whatever you want to call it. But that was right after the 5-star. In the same issue as the one that Momo Watanabe was doing, her winners article. The same issue. Okay. They're still building up Sareee. But since then, the articles have definitely died down about Sareee. I think that was the last time I read about Sareee getting booed, and that was end of August. And I think you saw at the Korakuen Hall at the end of September that he had pretty much mostly gone. And that was like a month of barely any media coverage about her booing. So it really wouldn't surprise me if maybe after the 5-star, Sareee, either something happened, or she decided to, tell Okada, hey, can we take it a bit easier? And some sort of plans changed. So,
yes.
Just want to quickly touch about the Alex Windsor stuff and going to defend overseas. I think that stuff was booked before whatever happened with Sareee happened. So before she decided to, call it quits, or something happened with her, or whatever, if she did get death threats, whatever it is, I think she already had that overseas storyline booked, because it made complete sense in storyline. Syuri, when she won the IWGP title from Mayu Iwatani, her first defense was against Alex Windsor, and Sareee wanted the title challenge first. And if you remember, Sareee was very upset that Syuri went overseas to defend the title. And now Sareee has the title, and Syuri wants to challenge for it. Sareee goes overseas, and who does she defend against? Alex Windsor. It was the most perfect storyline, so I think that was planned from before, and that's why she did that. Whether it was a Collision or Ring of Honor, doesn't matter, but I think that was always planned. And I think that was leading to a bigger angle on the September 27th Korakuen Hall show, leading into Crimson Nightmare. That's what I think was the original timeline. So I think whatever happened was sudden, and it caused Sareee to not even want to wait until Crimson Nightmare and want to do it a bit earlier before that. So because of all that, I do think Sareee is out of Stardom, because if she wasn't out of Stardom, why did they have to do this change so quickly? So one explanation for why they did it so quickly is because New Japan have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and they decided at the last second that they wanted a bit of a better opener for their Sumo Hall show. So the Sumo Hall show did only 300 tickets more than EVO and Sonada, right? It wasn't like a big ticket success. So maybe they looked at ticket sales and they're like, fuck, we need something. Let's get the IWGP Women's title match on here. The only way we'll answer that question is if Sareee shows up on Marigold or not in 2 weeks. If Sareee is on Marigold, then it wasn't that, and something happened. If she isn't on Marigold, then it could just be some New Japan disorganization.
Yes. I just think I think the theory that it's because that the heat was just getting to her and it was getting too much for her, it all kind of makes sense to me with Saya deleting her tweets. Like if Sareee just told Saya, can you please tone it down a bit? I'm feeling uncomfortable with this, then that makes total sense. And like them trying to kill Saree's heat in general, that makes total sense then. There's also rumors around that Sareee is unhappy with the Stardom office, being unorganized or whatever. Maybe it's just an amalgamation of a lot of factors. Maybe she got a really giant offer from Rossi to make the jump for the big Marigold show because Rossi needs to sell more tickets or something. That is also a possibility, I guess. But it's hard to say. I don't think we're ever gonna know what the real deal was. We were never gonna know the entire truth behind everything.
No, but we will know if something happened if she shows up on Marigold, because that would not have been the original timeline, I think. So
absolutely.
Because if she doesn't show up on Marigold, then this could have just been a thing, it was just bad booking. And then nothing else happened. So we have to wait for the Marigold show to really know if something happened or not, I think.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just kind of bummed out about it because, it would have been such a perfect way for Saya to go next. Or for them to clash at some point in the next year. Maybe at All-Star Grand Queendom after Saree's produce show or whatever.
It would have totally babyfaced Saya, though. I know she's kind of already a babyface, but it would have totally babyfaced her.
Yeah, but maybe they want that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still unsure if... Well, maybe... I don't know about that idea, because it's the same with Izawa, right? But Izawa got injured. It's do you actually pull the trigger on having a huge babyface run, or is it just going to fall flat on its face? I actually don't know how it would work out if you go all in on a babyface Saya / Izawa.
Right, yeah.
But we'll see.
Another thing I've heard as a potential reason is that that she didn't anticipate her merch sales and ticket sales dropping as she goes heel, but I don't see any evidence for that.
She instantly sold out the Surrealism show.
She still sells every show instantly. Yeah, maybe, but like people said, maybe she was scared that she wasn't gonna sell the big one in March.
Yeah, maybe the big one was different
at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't see any evidence for her not selling the same amount of merch or tickets as she did before she was in Stardom. I don't think that really makes sense. She has the biggest platform she can possibly be on in Japan while she's on Stardom. I don't know why her ticket sales or merch sales should go down from that. That makes no sense to me. And the ticket sales for the March show, do you reckon she gets Mayu then?
I think Mayu is, if she's jumping to Marigold, Mayu is the best person to sell Buntai or
Absolutely.
wherever they are.
The question is just if she gets there. Like,
if she's joining Marigold, she will get whoever she wants.
Okay.
By the way, not joining, I mean working with. She's obviously a freelancer. Yeah.
If she gets Mayu, I think she's gonna sell a bunch of tickets too. But obviously, I think Saya would have been the greatest ticket seller for her to get on the show. Anyway, do you have anything else on Sareee?
No.
Alright, I think we can move on then. Good. What's our next topic? Our next topic is the Stardom Korakuen show from October 11th. It was not a completely sold out crowd as the previous Stardom, the previous Korakuen show was. It was still a pretty good crowd actually with 1376, considering this was a really like kind of a nothing card, essentially.
Yeah, this was one of the Korakuens of all time for sure.
Yeah. There was like one highlight match on there, but the rest was kind of forgettable, I guess. I had a ton of fun with one other match, but we can just go through it. Okay, let me just open my notes real quick. Alright. We opened with Neo Genesis, which was Miyu Amasaki and Starlight Kid defeating Empress Nexus Venus, Hanako, and Rian in 9 minutes 38 seconds. This was a fun match. I thought it was really notable how much Rian is just improving lately. I looked at her match record the other day, and it's crazy. She actually has 174 career matches already.
Wait,
Isn't
really?
that kind of insane? Yeah.
That's a lot.
I did underestimate how long ago she debuted. She already debuted in March last year. I thought she only debuted at the tail end of last year, but it was way earlier than that. But that's still an incredible amount of matches to have. I looked it up because, like, guess how many Julia Hart has in her entire career?
Julia Hart. How long has she been wrestling for? When did she join AEW? Like
2019.
2019. Okay, 6 years. Let's say 20 a year. She's probably got 120.
Oh, pretty much. I think it's 112 or something around that.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So Rian having 174 in just like 18 months. That's the difference between like becoming a great wrestler at some point and maybe not becoming such a great wrestler. Anyway, in the end, Starlight Kid pinned Rian with a great moonsault. Good match. What did you think?
I think that Starlight Kid's the best argument for her most outstanding case is that she got an excellent Korakuen Hall main event match out of Hanako. Not to, well, kind of to diss Hanako, but not really. But I don't know. The fact that Starlight Kid had that match with Hanako is just amazing to me still. There was I thought Rian's Fisherman Suplex isn't that bad. I don't know. I noticed that.
Yeah.
So I think she's slowly improving. I do love Konami and Starlight Kid running it back. I think it was a really underrated feud and match early in the year. So she choked out Starlight Kid to win the artist title, Konami did. And then she also choked out Hanan to defend the titles. So those wins, I think, were building to Konami challenging Starlight Kid for the Wonder of Stardom title. And I think it's confirmed for Ota Ward on the 3rd of November. Konami brought her dear classmate. She called her a dear classmate because they both debuted. What year did they debut? I don't know. It must have been ages ago. She brought her many white roses to celebrate Starlight, because it was Starlight Kid's actual 10th anniversary, and and Starlight Kid gave her a single white rose earlier in the year, so Konami was coming back here to return the favor, and then hit her over the head with a bunch of bouquet of white roses.
Of course. That's what happened. This is, like, I think you're right. And it makes perfect sense from a build perspective, Konami getting all those victories lately. And I'm pumped for it as well, because just like you, I loved their match early on in the year. But this kind of had me thinking, and I maybe wanted to go on a sidebar here real quick. I wanted to ask the question if Stardom has enough challenges on the level of white belt and red belt for the champions right now to have like sustained programs for the future, however long their title reigns will be. I kind of like sorted out people who I would say are on that level.
Yeah.
For the red belt, I would say it's Azumi, Bozilla, maybe Hanan, maybe Maika whenever she's back, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko maybe, Natsupoi, and Saori, and Syuri, theoretically, but she has the IWGP belt, of course, and Starlight Kid, of course, has the white belt, but she would also be on a red belt level. For the white belt challenges, it would be those same ones. I would put Hina and Rina in there, and Husky maybe, and Tomokai Naba and Konami, and Ami Sourei also. So the thing is, for red belt, Saya has basically gone through most of those. She could face Bozilla at some point. Natsuko Tora would be another inner hate feud, and sorry, Anu is also still left for her to beat. But yeah, it's kind of, to me, becoming apparent that both Starlight Kid and Saya have gone through almost all options for credible challenges in the company. And I don't know if Stardom is gonna be that quick to build someone like Saya Kakurara up, for example, or whatever, to be credible to challenge for those belts. My greater point about this is the panic about Mirai coming in and killing the...
I knew you were going here.
Is the panic about Mirai coming in and killing someone else's push a bit what should I say? Is it a bit overblown? And is it actually possible that Mirai would fit in perfectly right now to be one of those challenges without affecting anything really, but just giving them another challenger for these belts?
It's a good question. I am kind of biased because I can see how fucking good Mariah would be on the indie scene. She would light it up. She would be one of the premium ones, you know, alongside Veni or Sareee, obviously not as premium, or Itsuki Aoki. She would be one of the premium ones on the indie scene. So I'm a bit biased because, yeah. But I think when we spoke about it the first time, I was questioning where she would fit in on the roster. I think you named a lot of people there for the white belt. Like you mentioned, like Hina and Rina, like that. Those are just two, you know, that you mentioned at the end of a long list that could challenge for the white belt. And even people like Momo, I know she's like red belt level, but you could easily do like stuff like Momo and Starlight Kid, right? So
yeah, right. But Starlight Kid already faced Rina, right? I think she faced Hanan too. I'm not sure.
She didn't
didn't face Hina yet, but yeah.
So I think Rina needs to be the one to beat Starlight Kid. So I think that should be the end goal. So
okay.
That's maybe my fancy booking. I think Rina is ready to be a long-time white belt champion, right?
No, that makes sense.
I think she's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm talking around the point. Yes, Mirai could come in and challenge for those belts, but I don't necessarily think there is a lack of depth in the roster. Maybe more on the red belt level, actually. I think at the white belt, it's fine because it's a shorter gap between the mid card and the white belt. So it's easier to elevate people to believe them they can challenge for that. The red belt is a bit tougher, I think.
Yes, I agree with that.
Like how, and Mirai could challenge for the red belt. Like she's a red belt challenger. I think who were the other ones on the roster for red belt? I don't think you mentioned them all. Like Bazilla.
Yeah. I mean, Azumi's
already done it, obviously. Ami Sourei probably.
I think they've done. Sorry?
Ami Syuri could probably challenge for the red belt if she was given like a big push over a couple months. But it's not a lot of people.
Get her there. No.
So that's the more worrying thing, especially if Saya is like carrying until Grand Queendom, which is like, 6 months away.
Exactly right.
So
yeah,
bringing in Mariah for like I guess I have to call it a filler defense. That does make sense to me. But I think the white belt scene is okay. I think people were a bit worried about Konami re-challenging, but they didn't have to. I just think that's kind of... It's a bit lazy, right, to go back to Konami. It makes sense with the storyline, but it's kind of lazy when you have a lot of good challenges there already, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree with you. The story makes sense for Konami to challenge again.
I think Rina should beat Starlight Kid at Dream Queendom.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Why did they wait so long to elevate people? Like, is it not obvious to everyone that Rina's ready for a white belt run?
I don't know if they really waited that long, honestly.
Well, she
like they
challenged
clearly
right?
pushed Rina, after the Cinderella, I think, or during the Cinderella.
I think
before the Cinderella. Okay. I think they are clearly. I didn't want to like call out Stardom for not elevating people in quickly enough. I think
no, because they've done pretty
Stardom
well.
is like one of the premium promotions in the entire world when
it
comes to elevating talent quickly. But like truly to be on the red belt level and to be a credible red belt champion after Saya, who can that even be?
No, I'm kind of worried about the red belt scene for sure. I agree with you about that.
Yeah, Maika is like, whenever she comes back, that would be a top program, I hope. But other than that, it's kind of like getting pretty... Like who would you say should dethrone Saya anyway?
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't fucking know. I actually have no idea. I would have said Momo, but it doesn't look like they're fucking doing that, so...
I think that is quite a low possibility of that happening.
Yeah, that's not happening now, but I would have said her.
You mean eventually? Okay.
Well, I would have had her beat Syuri at Dream Queendom as well.
Oh, that early. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like it was a appropriate time to shake some things up. I think it would have been a year and a half since Hate got together. 18 months is a fucking long time. I think it was a right time, and it doesn't have to be her only red belt reign for Saya. Like, Ozawa dropped to Kenta, and you think that's going to be his only title reign. Miya Watanabe, who dropped to Mizuki at the start of the year, now she's champion again. You don't only have to have one red belt reign, so I thought it would be fine for Saya to drop it.
That's true, yeah. What if it's... I have a theory, okay? Do you remember when Saori Anou and Natsupoi had their produce show at Ota Gym?
Yeah.
Right. At the end, after the show, they talked a bit in the ring and they looked up to the sky and referenced like Tam Nakano, right? So my theory is they didn't actually look up to the sky, like metaphorically. Uh-huh. They actually looked at the rafters of Ota Gym because that's where Tam Nakano has moved in.
Yeah.
And she's just waiting. And when they're going to be at Ota Gym for like the Crimson Mask Nightmare, they're going to betray Saya, right? Hate is going to betray Saya, going to kick her out, beat her up. And I think Tam Nakano is going to descend from the rafters to save Saya Kamitani from Hate. And then Saya's gonna grant her the red belt match at Dream Queendom for helping her. And that's when Tam is gonna beat Saya for the red belt.
How happy would you be, Tam?
You wouldn't believe it.
you don't give a fuck if she breaks the retirement thing, right? You just want it back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kinda like schizophrenic about that, to be honest, because I do think it was the perfect retirement, and it would be kinda throwing away a perfect moment, but also kind of...
I mean, she can't stay hidden forever.
I don't know. I don't know how she's doing it anyway for this long. Like,
yeah, how have there been no fucking pictures of her at all since April? That's insane.
Apparently, I heard that people have been spotting her at shows, but I've never seen any of that.
I've never seen any pictures.
I've only read that comment, but I've never seen any evidence of that. So I thought I spotted her once in the audience, but it was just someone with purple hair, probably.
I feel like this is cinema done correct. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so melodramatic, but it's just so good.
You mean the retirement?
Yeah, just the whole, just Tam and how she works. I fucking love it.
My plan for her to come back.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. Well, let's move on. Or did you have anything more on my sidebar about the?
No, I'd be happy. To be honest, I'd be happy to see Mariah in Stardom. But the more I think about it, I think she should just do some dates as a freelancer in Stardom. There's no reason why she can't do that. Because I think she can get some fucking bank on the indie scene. So, and I just want to watch her on the indies. So, I
do agree with that as well. Like, I would love to see her, going from promotion to promotion, essentially, like Benny or something.
Yeah, and just do a few. Just do a Stardom pay-per-view for a red belt match. You don't, it can be. We all know Mariah's not going to win the red belt. They got a lot of internal storylines to wrap up and stuff like that. So have her in for a red belt shot, and then she can go to TJPW for a Korakuen Hall or Sumo Hall or whatever. So that's how I would like to see Mariah proceed, but we'll see.
Right. All right. Our next match. Back to the Korakuen. This was a lot of fun. I loved this kind of. This was the Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara teaming up with Kikyu Furusawa and Saki Kashima to defeat Mi Vida Loca, Akira Kurogane, Bozilla, Itsuki Aoki, and Rina Yamashita by countout in just about 10 minutes. Yeah. Do you want to start with this one?
Yeah, I thought this was funny as fuck. So
yeah.
Bozilla just started the match off charging at Saki Kashima, and then yelling. Then she yelled at the crowd to move out the way, and there was just sorry, I just laughing remembering it. There was like one little gaijin was just sitting in the chair, and he just wasn't moving, and Bozilla was fucking yelling at him, move, and he didn't move, so Bozilla just gave up on throwing Saki into the chairs. I just thought it was so funny. Yeah,
to explain this a little bit, like we talked about it on some other Stardom review, that they're kind of teasing this. They have been kind of teasing Saki Kashima and Bozilla in a singles match, which would it would be like the funniest matchup possible. And I think it was like a fan vote or something where fans could make up matchups, and someone made this.
It was like shirts, right?
This dream match. Yeah, you could make shirts of your dream match or whatever. And this one got a lot of I guess hype and buzz when someone created the Saki Kashima vs. Bozilla shirt.
And they've booked it now. I don't know when it's for.
And they've booked it now.
But
I figured it was on November 3rd, right?
Oh, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, Bozilla challenged Saki Kashima after the match, and Saki was like, no, Nani? She did not want that, but yeah, she's getting it.
It was very funny. And yeah, and this was just like, this was like a picture perfect match to see why Sayaka Kurara has so much potential and is gonna be great at one point. Like, her baby face, like, just fighting against Bozilla with everything she's got was so good. And she managed to beat Bozilla in the end by countout, but still, it was such a fantastic thing to see for me.
Did I miss something? Why is Saki Kashima protecting Sayaka Kurara? What happened?
That was kind of funny. I don't know. She she threw herself in the way on the Bozilla tackle at one spot.
And she was like sniffing her hair and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe she wants to... Maybe she wanted to recruit them.
Oh,
but
right.
Now that they kind of lured her into the Bozilla match, she apparently doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. Yeah. That's what I read, at least. Yeah. But
so
yeah, this was great.
Yeah, I guess one side point, because this was Mi Vida Loca, which is Suzu Suzuki's faction. She's been out injured since... When was it?
I was going to ask that, yeah.
I don't remember when she... Was it the Korakuen? I don't remember. She's been out for a while with a back issue. She was back on the 11th of October, and how she returned was in Suzu Suzuki style in a hardcore match against Jun Kasai on Mochi Natsumi's produce show at Shinjuku Face. I opened up the match, and literally within a few minutes, Suzu had a brutal crimson mask. So welcome back, Suzu. She also did the chopsticks sticking out the top of your head spot. I still don't know how that works. Do you think they actually like dig that in? What?
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting, isn't it? That is disgusting.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm.
She also stapled Jun's ass before powerbombing him on some chairs. Jun placed a fork into his forehead, as he does, and then Suzu tequila shot him onto a bed of forks, and then they traded German suplexes onto the forks. Suzu kicked out of Jun's Pearl Harbor splash off the top rope, and then they did 2 clonking headbutts, but Jun won with the cross-armed pile driver. It was a pretty good match.
Have you ever seen those two before? Fight?
Those two together? No, I don't think so.
They had some amazing matches in the past, I think.
Oh, on prominent shows or something?
Go back at some point. So one was... I think this was one of the first Suzu matches I've ever seen when she was still like... I don't know if she was still in Ice Ribbon at the time or if she quit Ice Ribbon around the time. I think it was like 2019 or something really early where she was like stupid young. She was like 16 or 17 or something. Mm-hmm. And they had this great match together. Which was like an awesome first impression for Suzu. Best one I could have probably gotten. And they had another one, I think, in 2023 before Suzu joined Stardom. She did this like 10 match trial against 10 legendary deathmatch wrestlers from Japan. And I think June was the final one.
Okay, but Tim.
That was also awesome.
Do you know when a hardcore match becomes a death match? I don't get... Because a hardcore is like a lighter death match, right?
I think essentially it's just another name for it.
Because I've seen some promos that Jun's cut, and he's like... he always does like trial hardcore matches with people that are getting into the genre, and then he's like, come back to me when you're ready for a death match. So I think they're meant, in like June lore at least, they're meant to be like stepping stones into deathmatch. But I don't know when that bar is. But anyway. Maybe this was a fucking death match.
Maybe that's like when the next level of weapons hit. Like maybe hardcore is just like tables, chairs, ladders. And whenever you get like the light tubes, the scissors, the fucking needles, the forks and everything, maybe that's when it becomes a death match.
Yeah. All right. Well, we go from that to Waka Tsukiyama. So she was in a 3-way against Mei Seira and MMI Shima. And this was a 35-second match. And Waka flash pinned Mei Seira. So...
With a fucking tiger suplex or something, right? It was, I don't know if I've ever seen Waka even do that before.
Yeah. I think... I liked this, actually. So, this was a bit of a guilty pleasure. I think the reason I liked it was Mei Seira's selling was fucking amazing. Yes. She was like completely dead inside. She wasn't angry. She wasn't upset. Mm-hmm. She was just like silently embarrassed. And that's a really hard emotion to pull off, I think, just from your facial expression. So I thought that was great selling. Waka said, I beat you in 35 seconds, so that warrants a title shot, right? Mei was in denial. She was like, no way. I don't have a choice, do I? Fine, I'll split that arse of yours in half. That is actually what my machine translation said, by the way. So, I'm not sure if my machine translation would just add in the extra sass for the hell of it, but she did say she would split Waka's arse in half.
That's funny.
And then, so Mei accepts it. She said, yeah, well, we'll do a fight. And then she fucking German suplexes Waka.
Oh, that was such a great German too. He just threw her across the ring.
So one of our friends, Blue Jam, he said it was a sore loser suplex, and I really liked that. I said I'd steal it. So I've stolen it. She was just so fucking disgusted that she lost to Waka of all people. Just good shit. And then backstage, Mei is just talking, and then Waka sits next to her, and Waka repeated 35 seconds, and then Mei said, "I get it, I'll do the match." And then Waka replied with, "Oh, I don't remember much. Did I get thrown at the end?" So, she was selling that she got a concussion from the German suplex. So, I really like this. I don't know.
Yeah, Mei is excellent at this. She already did this at some house show. I talked about it in another episode when she lost to Waka for the first time. And she just sat down. Like on that house show, she just sat down, like face first to the turnbuckles. and just didn't move, like just in shame. She just went to a shame corner, and that was also really brilliant. But she sold it even better this time. It was just really funny and good. Love me, Sarah.
Cool. And then we went to So, oh man, this was a big one. It was a 12-person tag, so it was Hate, pretty much all of them, against Stars and Cosmic Angels. So Momokogo, Natsupoi, Sareee Eno, Saya Aida, Yuna Mizumori, and Yurahime. So Hanan's been out injured since 27th September, Korakuen Hall, when she got stomped on while her music was being played. So that still cracks me up.
Is she's kayfabe injured though, right?
No, I just assumed she was...
Or is she shoot injured?
I assumed she was shoot injured, but it could be kayfabe.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
And then B. Priestley is out of the country doing stuff, but I think she's meant to be back very soon. So this match wasn't really much. I think this match was literally just to give Konami another win before her won the title match.
Yeah, probably.
But the weirdest thing about this was, Tim, this fucking Saya Momo Watanabe stuff is really weird.
Oh.
There was no
it's triggering me so much.
There was no fucking angle. There was no setup again. The next live show is in Toyohashi, which is Sayaka Kurara's homecoming. So Kurara's probably main eventing that. So there's probably not another angle on that. The next Korakuen is on the 27th of October. So are we really waiting until 6 days before the pay-per-view to do some stuff?
Well, maybe they're doing it on the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, because Tam Nakano is in the rafters of Vote Award.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. No,
I feel like
I don't feel this match, to be honest.
The 12-man or the Saya Momo?
No, the Saya Momo one. Because I remember when it happened, when she challenged after the Izumi match, I was like, I'm going to, wait and see what happens. They're going to do something. Nothing's happened yet, but, maybe they still will. But it's just, God damn it, why is it so slow? I
feel like they are teasing stuff by not teasing anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, possible.
Like they are always they're doing these small little things. Like for example, during the introduction, right, you could see like, I think when Saya got introduced, they chose like a camera angle where you could see like Momo in the background just staring at her in kind of a weird way, but also in kind of a normal way. But it was still like kind of obvious to me that they specifically framed it like that. And after the match too, when like I think Momo gave Saya her belt or something, and they had this short little moment where they teasing something, and then they just smiled at each other and did nothing. And I think that in itself is kind of like a tease to me, because they're like so, and you could tell the announcers too. I don't know if you heard them, that they really like, they anticipated something happening in that moment. And they were almost like, they were almost like exasperated after that moment that nothing happened once again. And it's kind of like, I kind of like that. But you're right, it's, when's the pay-per-view? Like 2 weeks?
3rd of November, yeah, 2 weeks away.
3rd of November.
But I mean, I like what you said though. Maybe something is going to happen and I just need to be a bit more patient. I guess I'm impatient because I think this angle has so much potential. I think that's why I'm a bit jittery about it.
Right. But I could also see like when Saya beats her, Momo really like being frustrated and either getting Hate to turn on Saya or leaving Hate, and then maybe building to a rematch between the two, where like this is just the start of the whole like saga against each other.
But if you were gonna book Saya Momo at Dream Queendom, would you really have booked this match in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how well they do it. But I could also see like it not being immediately Dream Queendom either. Maybe they built that towards the All-Star Grand Queendom show in April then or something. Like a really, really long term thing.
Is it bad if I'm ready for Saya to lose? Am I alone on this?
I think you're not alone. I think some people are ready. I think Stardom isn't ready.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna milk this as long and as much as they possibly can.
But you don't need the title. Do you need a title to be a superstar? Not necessarily,
but I kinda like I think it does signify something when you're like just the top dog of the company. That's what the red belt means, right? Yeah. I think the belt should have that status and should still mean that. I don't think the red belt should be like the second fiddle to like the star that is Saya at this point, maybe.
Well, then why was Sareee the top dog in the 5-star? Tell me that, Tim.
She didn't even make it to the semifinals.
Okay, relax, buddy. Okay, you don't need to rub it in. All right. All right. So following that, we had. Oh, speaking of which,
Saya didn't either, by the way.
Sorry, what?
Anyway, Saya didn't make it to the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, Saya had an awful 5-star.
Kinda.
So, speaking of which, we had Chi-Chi, Miku Kanai, and Sareee against Hina, Rani Yagami, and Syuri. This was the preview of the match we spoke about earlier, the New Japan show. So I think this is where we were going to have a bigger angle leading to Crimson Nightmare, but because they had a match shortly after, and because Sareee was going to drop it, I think this was just... I mean, it was kind of underwhelming, right? It was just a good preview tag, nothing more.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to say it again. Hina was the most over person in this match. The crowd fucking loves Hina. Hina is so fucking good. The crowd loves her. I also thought that the Sareee Hina match at the 5-star was one of my favorites in Hina's hometown in Tochigi. That was a fucking sick match. And Sareee fucking murdered Hina on a basement dropkick in this match. I know she normally murders people on the basement dropkick, but this one was like extra fucking vicious. So yeah. Yeah.
I loved seeing Hina against Miku Kanai. That's a match that needs to happen at some point. Yeah, that was also a pretty sick powerbomb. I think Sareee powerbombed Hina, right?
Yeah.
And right after that, Miku like jumped into like a roller pin. That looked like a really cool and smooth like sequence. Yeah, but in the end, Syuri tipped Miku out. Which was the most sensible finish to do, I guess.
Yeah, and then after we had the match of the night and probably the most noteworthy thing on the show, Koguma versus Hazuki. What did you think, Tim?
This was fucking awesome, I thought. I loved this match. Yeah, there was so much stuff. Like I said this like 2 episodes ago. I think I love it when you see like the real Koguma, like what she's able to do when she's not doing just bear stick the entire match. And this was it. Like she did so much amazing stuff. She did like Hazuki's face wash. She did this amazing like sleeper giant swing.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And they just destroyed each other with German suplexes. And
I have to stop you.
Yeah, it's just holy crap. I just love this. Yeah.
Tim, those German suplex. I have to stop. As the resident German,
those were insane.
I think I was trying to remember. I think these are the most dangerous German suplexes I've seen all year, and I've seen thousands. Okay, these were fucking amazing. I don't. So she released one while she was standing up. So that was like a super high angle one, and Hazuki bumped perfectly on her neck. And the next two, I think Koguma maybe learned her lesson a bit, and she bent a bit backwards to bridge a bit, but it was still almost standing up. It was just fucking crazy. And I think people maybe don't realize like the level of execution you need to do that type of move without it going wrong. You think, oh, she's just throwing her. But that type of bump can go fucking horrifically wrong if it's just like slightly off. So I thought this was by far the best spot of the match, and one of the best spots I've seen all year.
Yes. No, it's true. Those are kind of like the Natsupo does those two. It's
she does, yeah.
These like where she keeps standing and just throws the people over her head somehow. But I think it's up to Hazuki, as you said, to bump in this high angle way. Yeah. Which is why these looked so fucking insane.
Perfect bumping.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I also really like this match, I guess.
Hazuki
if you can
won in the end.
She did win, sorry, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. She did absolutely win. But I think that was the original plan, right? I think she was going to...
I think so, yeah.
Beat Dark Silhouetta and then probably defend against Silhouetta in Mexico in the upcoming weeks because they're there for the Grand Prix next week, so...
Right.
I thought it was a really cute post-match promo as well. So, Koguma said that people always think of them as FWC, but before that, deep down, they were classmates and rivals. Because, people don't really think of them as rivals, but they see each other as their most fierce rivals, which I think is kind of cool, like background story to the match as well, and why they went so hard at each other. And then Koguma started crying. As Hazuki says, tells her not to cry, and Koguma just goes on to say that they'll keep pushing to be the strongest tag team in the world. And then backstage, they spoke a lot about being each other's number one rivals as well. So,
yeah, makes sense.
Great fucking match.
They should be. They work awesomely together.
It's only the second time I've seen serious Koguma this year. The other time was she was against a debuting rookie in Seedling, so she obviously had to be serious against a debuting rookie. But this is the first time in Stardom I've seen Koguma be serious this year. Oh, maybe no, it is the first time, I think.
Well, like as long as it lasted, the Dark Silhouette match was also serious Koguma.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, the next match we had Hate, Natsuko Tora, and Ruaka. What's up?
I fell asleep during this match.
They defeated Gods. Shit, I was hoping you would provide proper commentary on this one. They defeated.
Match was fucking boring. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I have to bury it. It was so boring.
No, I agree. I kind of talked it down to like just being exhausted from the previous match, that I couldn't really pay attention to this one. But it probably just wasn't good.
I just think Lady C, maybe she's my personal void zone. I just can't get into any Lady C match ever.
No, I agree. She needs to stop doing this fucking two-person abdominal stretch.
Oh my god.
It looks so fucking preposterous and not good ever. It takes me out completely out of like matches and stuff.
Yeah. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Ruaka, I think one time Ruaka broke up a pin, and while doing so, kneed Tora in the head really hard.
That sounds like a Ruaka really thing to do, yeah.
Bad. Yeah, exactly. That's like a typical Ruaka pin breakup disaster. And yeah, I guess Tora did a swanton for the win, and that's it.
Yeah, sorry, they did successfully defend. I think the most notable thing was Natsuko was basically getting babyface cheers after the match.
I wrote in my notes that they got pretty good heat for cheating whenever they did their like cheats, but after the match, I guess you're right. Yeah,
I mean, she was a huge babyface after the match. I would like huge Natsuko chants. But what happened after was Itsuki Aoki and Rina Yamashita came out, and they challenged for the tag team titles, but we don't know when that's happening. But I do love Aoki getting the spotlight. She's a very, very underrated wrestler and promo. She's fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
And then,
I noted that.
And then Mayumi Izaki came out from Oz Academy. They have a pay-per-view on Sunday, and it's Sekigun, her faction against Hate. The rules, they announced the rules, so it's no DQ. Seconds are allowed. It's 4-on-4, and the loser leaves the match. So if you get pinned, you get handcuffed, and you have to watch the match.
Okay.
So elimination style, but you have to get handcuffed rather than leave the arena, whatever.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, if Izaki loses, then she becomes Hate's lowest ranking lackey, and they all become her senpai.
You think that's a possibility?
No, it's an Oz Academy show.
Yes.
There's no way Izaki's losing in the main event.
No. I just realized this fucking tag title match went 19.5 minutes, bro.
That is honestly that is that should be considered a hate crime.
That's offensive, yeah.
That is insane.
Crazy. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have never thought it was this long, so maybe it was better than No, but it was probably just because I didn't pay any attention for at least 10 of those minutes.
Yeah, no offense to Ami and Natsuko. I actually like both of them, but I guess Lady C and Ruaka, they were two weights that were too heavy to carry, unfortunately.
That is unfortunately true. Right, this was the Stardom show. Do you have anything else on?
Nah. It's Marigold time!
Let's go. Everyone's favorite promotion.
You didn't watch any, did you? Or did you? The top 2?
I watched everything.
No fucking way. Hang on. Did you watch?
Of course, we got the Hummingbird versus Megaton and now Ishikawa match, right? I kind of thought maybe you would provide commentary for this one, as you love all of those guys.
Wait, you're fucking with me. There's no way you watched that match.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I was about to say. I did not watch that.
But I did
match.
watch the rest.
Okay, yeah, same. So I thought the show was not a Korakuen Hall level show. It was fine. It was quite good, actually, but nothing was must see. It was the worst ever number at Korakuen since Mayu has joined, but there were 10 worst Korakuen Hall numbers before Mayu. So that sort of like tells you how important Mayu is for Marigold and how much the attendances increased when she joined. By the way, let's not do the full case breakdown here, but Mayu is like a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
You'd think, right?
Like, she's a legit draw as well, right? Okay, do you know what I remember? I remember her popping a fucking ice ribbon Korakuen Hall show in June last year.
Oh, that was...
She did 1,100 on that show. Do you know what the show before did? 540. The show after, 560. She fucking doubled the attendance at Korakuen Hall with her match against Tsukasa Fujimoto. I mean, I think she's a legit draw. But and you can tell with her Marigold run as well, to be honest.
I mean, Mayu is one of those wrestlers that if I had any power of the Hall of Fame, she would be in just for work alone. But
exactly.
Her drawing cases there, I guess, like these I mean, do you think about the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame here, right?
Sure.
Or do you just mean in general, like the term Hall of Famer? I mean the term because general, like these fucking voters are all weird for Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. So I don't think she's gonna make it, but she should probably.
Yeah.
Tam should too.
Tam's not retired. You know, Tam can come back.
Yeah, even if she is, she's done enough, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
To at least get on the ballot.
To be honest, that retirement run is fucking Hall of Fame worthy just in itself, right?
Yes.
That's a fucking
and she did like
angle.
And she main evented like the other 3 top attendances in Stardom history as well, so it's just I think. At least the second and third, I think.
Yeah, so how did we get back to Tam? We're talking about Marigold. We should just do a bit where we talk about we should talk about Tam in every single topic.
We should absolutely.
So
do you want to lead it through this? Or
yeah, I will. I'll sort of sprint through. I'll try to. Okay, so the opener, not the non-Megaton opener, was Komomo Minami, Shino, and Yuka Yamazaki defeating Kazuna Tanaka, Nagisa Tachibana, and Victoria Yuzuki in under 10 minutes, 9 minutes 52. So I really like these matches. I'm a fucking addict to watching wrestlers get better. It feels like it's part of the journey, and I feel like it's going to pay off one day when I see them, reach great heights, like you did with Tam. Actually, I'm going all in with some of my favorite young wrestlers. And listen, Marigold just has a lot of really good young wrestlers. I can't help it; they just do. I don't want to give it to Hatman, but I have to. Some of them are just fucking good. So Kazuna 20 and Shino 16, they started off the match. It was a preview of their singles match at Grand Destiny next week. It was Shino's it was a Korakuen Hall debut, and she was looking to fucking party. She was loud. She was screaming with every move she did, especially the submission holds. Even though she debuted like a few months ago, I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like she works like a vet. I don't know how to explain it. Do you know what can you pick my brain, Tim? Do you know what I mean?
I think I do. Sorry?
Shino working like a bit like a vet, like the way she moves.
She's the one in the white, right?
Yeah.
In the white gear?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. She's very confident. Like, I was like hugely surprised by her performance here. Like, I don't think I've seen many performances of her before.
Did you watch her debut?
But like, what?
Did you watch her debut?
Did I ever watch that? I heard about it.
Oh,
I heard
it was
everyone
my Sakurai,
was
so I don't
blown
think you
away.
did. Yeah.
Maybe not. I read about it in the newsletter for sure. I remember that.
Yeah.
Don't know if I ever checked it out though. Anyway, yeah, but I definitely made a note for her. Like, she was like my most outstanding thing about this match was me being surprised about
Yeah,
it.
she's 16.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was generally hugely impressed or surprised by how good some of the wrestlers in this match actually were.
Oh yeah.
Defied my expectations, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like so I think I talked up Nagisa Tachibana last episode, or if I didn't, I said she had improved since a year ago, which is still true, but she did look a bit lost in this match, especially with her sequence with Shino, and I think she's still by far like the least polished of these like 6 members of the new generation. And I feel like she's just been drilling drop kicks in the dojo or something, because her drop kicks are kind of clean, to be honest. So that's by far her best move. Yuzuki basically did nada in this match, and to be fair, she's got nothing to prove. She's by far the best out of these. She balled out during the 5-star, so she can take a fucking rest. So after the match, so Shino finished off Tachibana with a Sareee style Uranagi, which was sick. And then after the match, Kazuna Tanaka offered a handshake to Shino ahead of their Sumo Hall match, and Shino dropped Tanaka with an Uranagi. It was fucking ice cold. I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. How long has she been wrestling, Tanaka?
Oh, I'm gonna guess early 2024. She was there since the launch of Marigold.
Oh wait, I actually got it right here. Yeah, 23 actually, 2 years.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
So she's someone who I think her development has stalled a bit. She was like ahead of a bit of like her peers, and I think recently she's kind of like leveled out and been overtaken by pretty much all of them, especially like Komomo Minami has completely overtaken her. So yeah, I'm hoping that she can like show some fire though in the singles match at Sumo Hall against her second generation rival. So I'm waiting to see that singles match before I have a full judgment on Kazuna.
Yeah, I liked her. Yeah, like I think she had some good sequences with Shino.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on that match?
No.
Next up, we had Darkness Revolution, which is Misa Matsui and Ria Seto against Chika Goto and Minami Yuki. I don't remember anything, and I didn't make notes because nothing happened. And then afterwards... Wait, do you have notes on that one?
No.
Yeah, okay. And then afterwards, we had Chen Yota and Utami Hayashishita versus Erina Yamanaka and Miku Aono. All right. I
guess...
Yeah, go on.
I guess my one thing is that I was, once again, like, I like Misa Matsui and Ria Seto, actually. I like both of the Darkness Revolution wrestlers here.
But the gimmick sucks, right?
I mean, I don't really care for... I don't really...
Well, that's because you don't watch Marigold.
That they are like the heel faction that is...
I think
they're kind of weird, I guess.
I think they are the worst heel faction in all of Japanese wrestling right now.
That's possible, yeah.
So...
Anyway, yeah, you wanted to say something.
Well, I'm really excited to talk about Utami and Miku.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Because I think...
I mean, this was the best match of the night, I think.
Yeah, I don't blame you for thinking that. I think I preferred the main event, but I this was pretty close. So, Utami and Miku did what they do best, which is what they've been doing for all of the preview tags. So, just for context, Miku Aono won the Dream Star, so she's challenging Utami in the semi-main event of Sumo Hall, because the red belt cannot main event Sumo Hall. So they did what they do best. Shoulder tackles, lariats, trading German suplexes with each other. No fucking messing around. So I want to do a little side bit here. So I've been seeing some discourse in social media. So I don't have a lot of social media, but the ones I do have, I've been seeing people say, wrestling's not the same. And that has been living rent-free in my head. But Utami and Miku is another fucking example in the Joshi scene of two wrestlers that are just beating the crap out of each other on tour stop after tour stop. There's no underlying story here, okay? Miku won the Dream Star, Utami's the champion, so they're just beating each other up. It could not get more simple than this. It's as basic as you can get, and I think it perfectly reflects like the simple, hard-hitting wrestling of the 2000s that people yearn for. How can you look at these two hit each other for weeks on end and not fucking enjoy it? I thought it was great. And as a quick aside, I watched the 11th of October show in Osaka as well. And again, they beat the shit out of each other. It was fucking sick. How many times can they beat the shit out of each other? And I think the worst part is I know I'm going to be disappointed by their Sumo Hall match, because Big Match Utami isn't really a thing in 2025. I think she's sort of like been downgraded to like preview Match Utami, because she is so good in these previews. That's where she fucking shines.
Yeah, but like their chemistry especially does give me hope that they can maybe steal the show from Mayu and Io.
I won't get tricked again, Tim, because I thought that with Mirai, where they had sick preview tags, and I was like, okay, these two have sick chemistry. They're going to have a banger, and then they didn't, so.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah. I guess thinking about it like match of the night or whatever, I just think like Utami and Miku essentially were my pairing of the night. I thought like Erina Yamanaka, she's a very suggestive wrestler.
Not suggestive as Natsu Samura.
I think she's kind of on that same tier, maybe.
Actually, she does have the same Bronco Buster, yeah.
I think her Bronco Buster looks just as obscene, honestly, than as Natsu's.
Yeah.
But also her entrance is like kind of like just very, very, suggestive, I guess, for the gooners.
Yeah, you think she got some glutes on her?
I didn't really pay attention to
Oh,
glutes.
Okay, now you don't pay attention to the glutes. All
right. Yeah. Anyway, so her and Chanyota were kind of just like whatever in the match. I don't even remember anything about those two, but like just judging from Miku and Daono, this was pretty good, pretty great, actually.
Yeah, so
I thought.
So Irina, go on, you go.
Yeah, just wanted to say Utami got the pin on Miku this time. The last time I watched, at least, Miku got the pin on Utami, so they're just kind of trading these wins.
They've had
up to their match
5, maybe 6 preview tags, and Utami hadn't won a single one until this match.
Oh,
so this was
not trading.
Yeah, this was the first one that she won. It was like part of the storyline that Miku kept on beating her. So I heard them call Utami's spinning crucifix powerbomb the Crusade. Was it always called that? Oh, can you help me out here with the history? I thought it was the BT bomb.
No. Yeah, BT bomb. Right.
Yeah, but they definitely called it the Crusade,
BT
and
bomb.
the Shupro report also called it Crusade. So I don't know if she's changed the name or if I'm thinking of a different move, but yeah, I just thought I'd flag that, and maybe someone can correct me. So this was their last time facing each other as well, before their Sumo Hall clash. So they don't have any more preview tags against each other. Any other notes?
All right. Not really, no. So wait, the show is on October 26th.
That is correct.
Okay, we're gonna preview that next week, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. No, I thought it was great. Great little match here. Great little preview match.
Cool. And then we had Mirai's final match with Marigold. So it was Mai Sakurai and Mirai against Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki. So
yeah.
So the crowd were on Mirai's side, but I thought this was a bit of a standard match for Mirai's final match. It was like a match I would expect to see on like any of the house shows. It followed the same Darkness Revolution formula, and complete with a chair shot to Mirai's head. Mirai came back, lifted up by the crowd. Sakurai hit a backdrop suplex and then assisted with Mirai's lariat, and then she pinned Chiaki. I just thought it was fine. I don't know. I guess I was expecting a bit more for her final match.
Yeah, so I got like a few questions here, and stop me if I'm being too much of a hater or anything.
Yes, Chiaki sucks.
It's not about Chiaki necessarily. Do you think Mirai leaving is a... Do you think Mirai was an important person for Marigold?
All right, well that is an awesome segue, Tim. Did you do that on purpose? You don't even. You don't even know what I'm going to talk about next, so you don't even. Wow, perfect. Okay.
Maybe we're trying to make the same point. I wanted to make a point with my questions. I wanted to get there by asking questions. Do you think?
I'll assist you then. Yes, I do.
Do you think her leaving is like a big thing happening for Marigold?
Absolutely.
If you were Marigold, would you honor Mirai in the greatest way you could do on her way out?
I absolutely, fantably would do so, Tim.
So, would you put her in a semi-main event for 13 minutes with Darkness Revolution and have kind of really nothing, no ceremony or anything, and not even have her main event with her last match?
I would if I was the Vince McMahon of the Japanese booking scene.
I just kind of, I actually thought that this was kind of disrespectful to Mirai.
Yeah.
As a last match. And I was kind of like astounded at how little of a fuck they seem to give actually about Mirai leaving. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a hater, but
So
yeah, that's the impression I got.
what I will talk about is the 11th of October show, because that's where she had her gauntlet show. So, you're still right, because it wasn't a ceremony, but she did have like a gauntlet against everyone on the roster.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but also it was an Osaka house show rather than the Korakuen Hall. So your point still stands, despite her having the gauntlet match. So I thought the gauntlet was quite fun, actually. It was a series of 1-minute matches against 20 members of the roster, except Mayu, who was missing. Some people are reading into that. I won't read into it, but... So she drew 17 times. Go on.
Okay. They did talk to each other after this Korakuen in the ring, right?
So what happened was Mayu was closing out the show, and then Mayu was like, "Oh, Mariah should probably close out the show, right?" And then Mariah kind of took the mic, but didn't want to or something. And then Mayu just closed out the show. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I was gonna get to that. Like Mirai didn't even get to close out the show.
Yeah, but Mayu did say Mariah should close out the show, and then for some reason she just didn't. I don't really know. But people are also reading into the fact that Mayu wasn't at Mariah's homecoming show as well earlier in the year. But
yeah, that
who knows?
It's kind of weird. Anyways, 17 draws. I'm sorry.
So she faced 20 members. She drew 17 times, which means 17 1-minute time limit draws. Right, Tim. Yes. Mariah lost twice. Who did she lose to?
Chiaki. Maybe Nagisa Nozaki and Chiaki.
All right, no, but close. It was a Darkness Revolution member. It was Misa Matsui with the European clutch, and it was Sareee Yamaoka with the Aoki clutch. So that's kind of cool that she lost the 2 clutches. I thought that was like a nice little story. All right, she won once. Who did she beat?
Mai Sakurai.
No, she beat fucking Megaton. Yeah. Okay. So for the Flying Penguin. We should probably mention Flying Penguin is now part of the Marigold roster. She's debuting as Syoko Koshino, I guess. Yeah, Syoko Koshino at the Sumo Hall show. So she's debuting as her unmasked self, but she was masked on this show after the announcement. So I don't know if it's going to be like a Megaton or Gigaton thing, whatever. But they sang together, Mirai and Flying Penguin. That was fun. Tim, did you know they call Mirai the dojo chief?
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, all these rookies are always debuting against her, right?
Exactly. That's why I thought your question was a good segue as to how important Mirai is. Because, she's called the dojo chief. So she did like 1 minute of pure grappling with Nao Ishikawa, because that's what they did in the dojo a lot. Like Mirai has such a bright future. She's only 26. It's fucking insane. She can, she can become one of the best. And she was so important for training a lot of the youngsters who are now really fucking good and carrying Marigold's future. Miku decided not to give a fuck about it being a gauntlet and just kicked the shit out of Mirai in the 18th spot. And then Utami was in the 19th spot and just wanted a hug, which she got, but then she threw Mirai to the ground. And then the last spot was a 1 minute time limit draw with Mai Sakurai. And then she did a promo, and that was it. On a house show.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done... I would have done it a different way, I think, for Mirai's goodbye.
She's going to fucking prove Hatman wrong. She's going to be insane. I can't wait for it.
Oh, yeah. I'm rooting for her. Absolutely.
All right. Now, in the main event...
What did you think? Did you read the theory about Mirai potentially going to the Fed?
Oh my god! Why did you bring that up, Tim?
Okay, let's move on.
No. I mean, it was just. I mean, it was just Valkyrie joking around, right? So.
Yeah.
I mean, he just threw it out there as like a fun theory, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think I would be pretty. I can't tell you how I would feel. I
think one. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go on.
I feel like one thing about Mirai going to the WWE would be that she would probably have an even shorter run than Sareee before returning to Japan, because I think she's about the worst fit for WWE I can almost think of. So I don't think if this is gonna happen, it's not gonna be for long. I don't think.
Agreed. All right, let's not entertain that any longer. So the main event, the Superfly title, Mayu Iwatani defended against Sareee Yamaoka in 11 minutes 46. You start. How did you feel about this one?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a bit, maybe I expected a bit more, a bit longer of a match too.
Yep.
I said earlier that the tag was my match of the night. That doesn't mean I didn't like this one. I thought it was like almost like a preview of an epic match they could have.
Exactly, yeah.
I think Sareee is very good. I think she has like this way to her. She has like this aura, this like savage aura. I don't know how to describe it. Like right. When she, for example, when Mayu did the dive to the outside and Sareee just kind of boxed her in the stomach or like elbowed her in the stomach while Mayu was in the air, that looked like so fucking just savage from her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that spot. And she has insane forearms and just shoot slaps and shit. She just, yeah. I'm really high on Sareee after this match. I was kind of thinking for a moment, like I actually bought into this match more than I probably should have, because I was thinking maybe they have to get the title off of Mayu before the Io match, because she can't beat Io and she can't lose the title to Io either. But then, yeah, after the match, I found out that it's not gonna be a Superfly title match against Io anyway, so that makes sense then, because Mayu beat Sareee in the end. But I could have seen a world where Sareee actually beat Mayu here. So anyway, what were your thoughts?
Well, the interesting thing that you mentioned that is Sareee is the only person to have pinned Mayu since Mayu joined Marigold. So she pinned her on the first night of the fight of the Dreamstar. And so that's why Mayu was basically getting her win back here. That's why I kind of assumed she was winning here. So then they go 1-1, and they can break the tie with a much better non-Superfly match in the future. Because I think you're completely right. This was like a preview. They worked so slow in the first 4 to 5 minutes that I was kind of surprised. It only went 12 minutes. I was expecting like a much faster pace. I was spoiled going into it, so I knew it was 12 minutes. So that's why I was so surprised that the first 5 minutes were that slow. I thought it was quite interesting that they worked that pace, unlike Mayu's like other Superfly matches where she goes fucking boom boom boom. So the match kind of started for me when Mayu started slapping Sareee around the face, and then Sareee, like you mentioned, slapped the taste out of Mayu's face and planted her with a spine buster. So a lot of really stiff striking. And there was one spot where Mayu was picking Sareee up just by the head, and then Sareee just seamlessly, like effortlessly, transitioned it into a side suplex. And then she did
that was awesome.
A sick trio of German suplexes that made it look so easy. And it's not easy to do 3 German suplexes back to back to back. She must be so fucking strong. It's insane.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My enthusiasm of Sareee has been kind of U-shaped. As in, I was really high on her debut against Mirai. I thought she looked fucking awesome. And then she started having to learn how to do pro wrestling matches, and she was so green when she had to like work proper matches under Nanae Takahashi, one of the best wrestlers of all time. And since Nanae's retirement, I think Saree's been killing it again. Like, she's going back to her grappling, her suplexes, and she looks much more confident now, also outside of her comfort zone, more than she used to when she was with Nanae. So I'm very high on Sareee again, basically.
Can she at least leave the head?
You don't like the hat?
No. I think she looks so ridiculous with that. When she does like her, I don't know, fighting game stance.
I fucking hate
she's
her pre-match.
introduced.
Her pre-match pose is so bad.
Yes.
Why does it look like she's about to wrestle
on
there?
top of it? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Exactly.
She needs to be. I'm so happy she's facing Hashimoto, because Hashimoto is, I think, who she should like try to emulate as like going forward.
Yeah,
that's like the best person to try and learn from. Like both amateur wrestling backgrounds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One other thing I really liked. So the commentators and Mayu were really selling the danger of Saree's Aoki clutch, which is, I'm not sure if she asked permission from Shinya Aoki to steal that move, but it's super cool that she uses that move, and I like that it's being built as like a deadly finisher. She didn't even get to use it before she got pinned by Mayu's Dragon Suplex, and I think that's really cool.
All right. Yeah, I don't watch English commentary.
No, that was Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, why would we ever watch
I don't get
English commentary for Marigold?
I was thinking, I was surprised that you would do that, but
No, there's no fucking way.
I didn't read any translations of the Japanese commentary, I guess.
Oh no, not even that. I just heard him go, Aoki! So I was like, oh, that's cool. They're really hyping it up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright. Anything else on Marigold?
Anyway, yeah. Sorry?
Anything else on Marigold?
No, I mean, Mirai didn't get to close out the show. We already covered that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought I had higher hopes for them honoring Mirai, but I guess not gonna happen.
You should watch the Tai Honma one for next week, because I saw some pictures of that, and it looks... They really sent her home. Like, she retired on the 13th of October, if you guys didn't know. She retired at Ranmaru Fest, which is... It's a show... It's a produce show by Ranmaru, who's one of her like close friends, and she loves that show, so she wanted to retire on that show. Miyuki Takase's on that show a lot and stuff like that. So it is a comedy show, but it looked so cool with like the ribbons everywhere, and she was crying, everyone was crying, so yeah.
Yeah, but I think we are planning on watching this for next week, maybe.
Depending on my schedule, you definitely are.
All right, yeah. I mean, covering it next week also. Yeah. That's dependent on the schedule, I guess, if we get it in there. But yeah, I want to watch this for sure. Absolutely.
Cool. All right, let us speed through TJPW because it was kind of a small show. So
I didn't watch this.
Yeah, that's why we're speeding through it as well. So the only news is they're doing their next generation tournament. So there's only 4 wrestlers in it. It's Chika Nanase, Ren Kanatsu, Kira Summer, and Uta Takami. It's basically a tournament for people who debuted in 2024 or 2025. So they're doing double elimination. It's the first time doing double elimination. So Chika beat Ren Kanatsu in the losers final. So now Ren is knocked out of the tournament, and Chika will face Kira Summer in the losers final, who lost to Uta Takami. So Uta Takami is now in the grand final, where she only has to win 1 match to win the tournament. Whoever faces her from the losers bracket will have to win 2 matches back to back to win the whole thing. I do love double elimination. I think more wrestling tournaments should do that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So then we had Mihiro Kiryu versus Miyu Yamashita. This was for the DDT Ironman Heavy Metal Weight Championship, which is DDT's 24/7 championship. So we have a new champion. It is a contract binder. So the contract binder was on top of Kiryu, and the referee counted a 3 count. So now that inanimate object is the new champion. So what actually happened afterwards, though, is another binder was put on top of that binder backstage, and then the referee counted 3, and then a drink was put on top of the binder, so now the drink became a champion, and then Mihiro Kiryu had to drink the drink to become the champion again. And so she downed it in like a minute and a half or whatever, and because she drank the contents of the drink had to submit, and Kiryu is now the champion again.
I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. So the next, so they have a show on 19th of October after Korakuen Hall. So it's Korakuen Hall show on the 18th, and then on 19th they're back in Gunma, which is Kiryu's hometown. So she wanted to go back to her hometown as the champion. Next up, so it's kind of interesting, and maybe you'll find this interesting, Tim. So it was Alice Crowley. Alice Crowley. Crow. What's a crow? It's a crow. The crow is a bird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be Crowley. Alice Crowley and Shoko Nakajima versus Arisu Endo and Haru Kazushiro. So Alice is Arisu's next opponent at Korakuen Hall for the International Princess title. And I think the interesting thing is, so Alice is a US independent wrestler based out of the Midwest. She's been grinding on the scene since the age of 16. She debuted in 2018, and she managed to earn an opportunity to be placed in a title match at Korakuen Hall, which is, I don't know how that works. So I don't know if like indie wrestlers are putting in applications to TJPW or something. Like, how does TJPW know about a little well-known Midwest indie wrestler? I don't know what the connection is, but it'd be interesting to know. But I do find that scouting approach kind of interesting, actually. So she looks great, to be honest. So her first words. So they did a press conference, and her first words were, you know, it's my first time being in Japan. You guys give me some 4-foot little girl, and immediately got like a lot of laughs, including from Arisu, who was corpsing. So she looked super comfortable at the conference. Arisu made a joke about how they're both called Arisu, since that's how you pronounce Alice in katakana.
Oh.
You know, Alice is Arisu because they don't have L.
Mm-hmm.
And the C would become SU, so that's kind of funny. So she said, as the Japanese Arisu, she would win and show everyone how big she is. And I thought it was a pretty good match. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting how they recruit. I don't know if you have any opinions on that.
Is she like spooky?
She's so. Oh man, I don't know how to describe her look. She's. I hope it's not offensive. She's kind of goth-like. That's not offensive, right? That is just a look.
No. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You know, like
Do
piercings,
you know
black
Aleister
makeup.
Crowley at all?
Who?
Aleister Crowley?
No.
He is like the biggest, I don't know, influence for like Satanism and Satanist cult, occult magic stuff, and he was like a writer, I guess, in the early 1900s, I think, maybe late 1800s, and he's like the big icon for like Satanist stuff. And have you never heard like Ozzy Osbourne's song Mr. Crowley?
You fucking double-crossed me, Tim. I fucking knew it. You said there was no music trivia, and you fucking double-crossed me.
It's an awesome song.
No,
Randy Rhoads solo,
I
and that
haven't
is
heard
insane.
of that song. No.
That's like one of the most iconic guitar solos in that song, in my opinion. But he says Mr. Crowley, so I think it's Crowley, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe her. I don't know if it's her shoot name, but if it's not, then I guess it's a gimmick based on that.
That would be extremely like coincidental if she was Alice Crowley.
Okay.
And shoot, maybe if her parents are like Satanists or whatever.
Okay. Well, that makes way more sense now. Thank you for that background. Then in the main event, it was Miyu Watanabe, Wakana Uehara, and Yuki Kamifuku against Toga, Yuki Aino, and Yuna Manase. This was a preview match for both the Princess of Princess title between Miyu and Yuki Aino, and Princess tag team title between Overeats and Toga and Yuna Manase. So I thought it was just a fine match, actually. I don't have any notes about it. I thought it was pretty cool for Miyu and Manase to beef it up against each other, because Miyu doesn't normally go up against wrestlers of Yuna Manase's size, so that was interesting. And that's it.
Awesome.
So on the 18th of October at Korakuen Hall, TJPW has... So there's a 5-way, Kaya Toribami, Mahiro Kiryu, Pom Harajuku, Raku, and Suzume. And then it's Chikana Nase and Kiro Summer versus Mifu Ishida and Ren Kanatsu. And then there's 3 Level Up trial matches. So I think Level Up isn't. I think that's the TV show. I could be making that up. It's some sort of program where the veterans are against the younger wrestlers. So Shoko Nakajima was paired up with Uta Takami, so that's a singles match. And then Haru Kazushiro is paired up with Mizuki, and Miyu Yamashita is paired up with Shino Suzuki. Then there's a first ever singles match between Hyper Misao and Yuki Arai. Then there's the International Princess title match that we just spoke about, Arisu Endo versus Alice Crowley. And then tag team titles, which is Overeats versus Toga and Yuna Manase. And then the main event, which is Miyu Watanabe against Yuki Aino.
Awesome. That's a cool concept. I think, wasn't there some like WWE show or whatever called Level Up too? Maybe you're thinking of that one.
Maybe. Yeah, it's called Level Up Trial. That's what the match is billed as. But
okay, you think the rookies have any chance?
No. I'm looking at who they're facing. I don't think any of them can beat their senpai. Uta.
Right.
So Takami is probably the most ready to beat someone at that level, like Shoko Nakajima, but I just don't think that she will. So she loses a lot, except this tournament. She can.
Fair.
All right, should we move on to the Indie Zone?
Indie Zone with Eric.
Hey, and Tim, sometimes.
And me, sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
So I watched a couple of things here.
Yeah. So first off, we do a tour stop at Marvelous. This is the week before their huge show on the 19th of October at Ishikawa. And that's obviously Senka's homecoming, and it's where they're going to do Senka versus Takumi in the main event as well. So it's a massive show for Marvelous. So this was basically like the go-home show. So we open up with Miyu Momono versus Miku Kanai. Did you watch this one?
I did. I watched most of the show, actually.
Oh. What did you think about the Miyu match?
I liked it. I thought it was good. It was about what I expected from it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think these are two of the best babyface workers in the world.
Exactly.
So them going against each other, like, there can only be one great babyface in the match, I think. I have to say I do prefer the other Miku match I watched that comes later.
Same.
But this was still very good. Like, Momo just did these crazy big Boston crabs or single leg crab variations a lot, while Miku was just fighting to get to the ropes and struggling, which is a good way to structure a Miku match for sure, because that's what she does best. Essentially, is suffering and struggling and selling her pain.
Yeah, she's got a great career getting beat up.
Absolutely. And yeah, in the end, she won with a frog splash. I thought it was cool that Miku didn't tap to any of her. Like, at the end, she cranked in like a crazy ass, like Chris Jericho style lion tamer. And Miku didn't even tap to that. She just fought through the pain until so Miyu did the frog splash instead to finish her off, I guess. But lovely match, yeah.
But you realize that that Miko is such a geek, like a jobber in the scene, that she got beat by Mio's top rope splash. I don't think I've ever seen Mio win a match with that.
I mean, she was basically done at this point. I was surprised she didn't tap to the lion tamer.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was funny that, of course, Miko, of all people, like, finds a new way to lose to Mio. Mio didn't bother doing any of her proper finishes. She was like, fuck it, top rope splash for you. That was funny.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I think Mio has a really good bully mode, though. Like, you mentioned she's one of the best underdog baby faces, and she is. But she has a very good, like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you mode.
Yeah.
So I thought she brought that out here.
That's right.
Cool. And then we had Magenta, Maria, and Riko Kawata against Ai, Hozan, and Chi-Chi. So Chi-Chi was making her first Marvelous appearance of 2025. She made some regular stops in 2024. Yeah, and she broke her nose.
Immediately got into it, yeah.
So
that's tough.
She broke her nose when, I think it was Maria giving her a big boot. It was bleeding pretty much immediately.
Oh, that was it.
Yep. Okay. And Chi-Chi continued to work the rest of the match. She made sure to come in and hit her timings. She hit a fisherman suplex here and there. One of the spots was her getting super kicked in the face, and she still fucking took the spot. So I want to give credit to Chi-Chi for finishing that match.
She's so tough, man.
That's the Barbie girl, by the way. So, like, you know, when people talk about Freddy pink skirts, like, they normally think of wrestlers like Chi-Chi, but they don't consider the fact that, you know, Chi-Chi, time after time, shows how much of a fucking stud she is, right? She's got stiff strikes. She bumps on her neck. She finishes matches with a broken nose while hitting all of her spots perfectly and taking super kicks to the face. That's my fucking Barbie right there.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. I didn't catch the exact spot that it happens, but it makes sense on the big boot. I did see her immediately. Like, I knew in advance that she broke her nose.
Yeah.
So I only realized when I saw her, like, on the apron, just holding her face, essentially, that she must have broken it already, and I just missed the spot somehow. But yeah. But also on the match against Syuri, when she, like, fractured her spine, essentially.
Fuck?
She stayed at the show the entire time and, like, helped, like, take down the ring and did, like, the post-show ceremony and everything. And, like, everyone who had this kind of injury before said she must have been in insane pain. And she just didn't go to the hospital. She just stuck around at the show at that point, too. She must be insanely tough.
I don't want to spread misinfo, but wasn't it like a C5, C6, like, fracture or something? It was something like that. She, like, literally...
It was a pretty bad. She was insanely lucky that she could make a comeback at all.
Exactly. Honestly. And she fucking stayed as a second for the whole show. I don't know. This Barbie is just fucking built different. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Cool. So Maria pinned Ai with the Spike Michinoku driver. So almost just like Chiaki at the Dreamstar finals. Ai almost got dropped on her head. That move is fucking dangerous.
It is, but it looks awesome.
It looks awesome, but because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, by the way, Riko's zipper on her trousers became undone. So she zipped it up and did some dancing, joking around. Did you catch that?
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay. But she later joked around by looking down her top as well. Like, what do you think she meant by that, Tim?
I don't know.
Sorry, that wasn't rhetorical. I was genuinely asking you what you thought she meant by that.
Oh, well, probably that she doesn't want her top to get undone as well.
Okay, right. Let's move on. So then we had. Oh, I think I skipped a match. There was definitely a match that I didn't want. Oh, it was the men's match, and this is Joshi'ing around. So fuck the men. So in the main event, we had Spark Rush. Unless you watched that match, did you watch that match?
The Starboy Charlie and Titus Alexander. I skipped around in it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not.
But not really.
Yeah, comedy, kissing.
Wait, what was your question about? What do you think she meant by that?
Oh fuck! Yeah. Well, no, I think you put forward a great theory there, Tim. She was maybe just checking to make sure. I'm a guy. I don't know what goes on under there. I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Who knows what's under the top? Just like a mystery
I didn't see
vortex.
the spot, so I don't really know exactly what you mean. But I don't know. Maybe I check for that later. Not like that.
That is literally what that sounded like. You know what? Maybe I'll just go back to that stream later. For science. Just to check.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. And then Spark Rush against Nightshade and Senka. So this was a preview of Takumi and Senka. Nightshade. So she returned to Marvelous on episode 2 of Friday Night Gacha, where she reignited her feud with Takumi. So I think it was just a matter of time until she appeared on a Marvelous proper show. Takumi and Senka sort of started off against each other in, as I mentioned as a preview. Senka attempted a flash pin. Takumi kicked out immediately, so she wasn't hanging around. So while we didn't get the full version of it, I did see like a very short glimpse of like a ruthless Takumi. So she connected with a fucking vicious chop to Senka. It kind of reminded me of the Takumi beating the crap out of Sora Ayami in April, where she had like bloodied chest. There was a hilarious moment where Takumi called over one of the best wrestlers in the world, Sareee, to help her with Nightshade, and then Sareee sprinted at Nightshade. But Takumi didn't realize that Sareee was sprinting, so moved Nightshade out the way, and then Sareee tripped and fell face first into the turnbuckle. I couldn't stop laughing.
That was really funny.
And then, Takumi just sort of kicked Sareee for being an idiot. Takumi picked up the win, tapping out Senka with the armbar. So, after the match, I realized Takumi is a Joshi'ing around fan. Do you want to know why, Tim?
Tell me.
So Takumi said to Senka, so you have the Axe Bomber, you have the Brainbuster, and you've got the Flash Pin. Where's the rest? I look forward to it next week. And I've been saying a few episodes now about Senka's 3 moves of doom. She did add the Boston Crab against Sareee Yamaoka last week, and she also unleashed it against Takumi on this main event. So we do have 4 moves of doom now. By the way, I just want to... That's not like an indictment on Senka. I'm not saying she's like bad for only having like 3 or 4 moves. I think I just like want to remind people where she's at. Like she's still a rookie and she's still kind of green. That does make watching her exciting, but I don't think it's like good to like call her the best thing since sliced bread until like we see how that development goes, right? The fact that she can get as much out of her moveset as she does already is kind of already promising, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think we talked about that it's actually like a real positive that she's making that much of an impression while only doing like 2 or 3 different moves the entire time. That's just a sign for me that she really gets it. What it's truly about.
Agreed. So while I didn't think this like main event was kind of like the most explosive, I think it did its job as a preview to show us what might happen next week. So Senka did not tap to Takumi's like brutal double chicken wing. She did not tap to the armbar attempts, but she eventually had to give up while Takumi was more resistant to Senka's flash pin attempts than other opponents have been. And so Senka either needs to double down on her 4 moves of doom, or she needs to find something new to overcome the obstacle. So that was the story that they were telling, and I thought they got that over like pretty effectively.
Yeah. So the ref essentially just called for the bell, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Senka actually tapped.
Oh, yeah, okay. She like, well, I thought she like verbally submitted, but maybe she didn't even do that.
Probably, yeah. It was kind of from the camera angle. It was hard to see what actually happened, but yeah, she lost in the end.
And then after the match, Nightshade joined Evil Magenta. Great.
Not a fan of that?
No.
All right.
Yeah, no.
Let's move on then. I kind of like Nightshade, but...
Oh no, Nightshade's awesome. It's just Magenta, the heel gimmick. Yeah.
All right.
Riko's good though. I like Riko. She's kind of getting into it. Maria is just, she's not really finding it.
I noticed that in this match, like I knew you said that before, but like
you noticed that
I noticed it in the Magenta match that Maria has like a hard time being like a serious heel.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know how to be intimidating, I guess.
She's just being lazy. She's like falling back to the comedy because like the whole character is like an annoying bratty teenager, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like her big heat spot was just like I guess what do you call it when you go through someone's hair and make it like
comb it?
No, the opposite basically.
Oh, ruffle it? Yeah.
Yeah, she just ruffled whoever, I don't remember who it was, but
I think it was I, yeah.
Yeah, she just ruffled Ai's hair as her big heel spot, so that kind of looked ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah, whereas Riko, like, she does work seriously a lot of the time as a heel gimmick. She knows, like, when to turn it on, when not to. So I'm kind of happy with Riko's performance in this gimmick, just not Maria's. Nightshade's awesome, so I'm sure she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday Night Gacha episode 2. Oh, I don't know how much of this... we can go through it. So the first match was kind of important. Well, not important, but cool. Mm-hmm. So it was Hazuki and Koguma versus Ai Hozen and Senki Akatsuki. So this was FWC's like first ever interaction with either Ai or Senka, which I thought was cool. So Koguma tapped out Ai, and I thought it was a fun match. Nothing to shout about, but I thought it was a fun opener. What did you think?
Yeah, same. I think we once again got like some great Koguma stuff here. She did the great sleeper.
That's
swing again, which looks crazy good. I think I'm glad she's keeping that around. Senka at one point double clotheslined both FWC, which popped me, and yeah, it was kind of cool to see like this crossover Senka fighting Koguma.
Yeah,
it was
awesome.
just something new for me, and yeah, great.
That's what this show should be about, Friday Night Gacha. So
yeah.
Do we have to cover the comedy matches after?
Not really.
All right. The next...
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I got one question.
Mm-hmm.
So Magenta didn't really try that hard in this match, I thought.
That is correct.
Do you think they didn't try that hard because their opponent had magenta hair color?
Well, yeah, they were offended. Yeah.
Yeah, or they were very friendly towards them and didn't really want to beat them up. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had one... let's just move on. Yeah, doesn't matter.
I just wanted to no sell you. Yeah. Well, I was kind of upset in that match. So they were against Hibiscus, me, and Kyusei Ninja Ranmaru. We spoke about Ranmaru earlier, where Tai Honma retired. So they're a comedy duo, and they do a spot where they argue, and then at the end of the argument, they come together and do a little, peck on the lips. That's what they did at Miyuki Takase's anniversary show as well. So I thought we were going to get Marie and Riko, sharing a little peck, and they like the heels they are, they didn't even give us that. So, boo Magenta. And then we had...
I think they have one spot that I thought was really funny. When two people are like simultaneously getting Irish Whipped out of the corner, and then they just kind of hook arms and reverse it and run back into the other corner. And they didn't do a full 180, but only like a 90-degree turn and ran into the corners where nobody was there. So that I laughed at that.
I also laughed at that too.
I gotta admit it. That's cool. Thank you, Eric.
And then we had Risa Sera, Ryo Mizunami, and Shin Sakura Hirota. And then after that, we had Starboy Charlie and Titus Alexander defeat Ika Navarro and Joey Torres, but those guys are men. So after that, we had Itsuki Aoki and Takumi Iroha versus Maya Yukihi and Nightshade. So this was cool. So Nightshade made a return to Japan. We just spoke about that. There was... So actually, I didn't mention earlier, Nightshade did challenge Takumi for the Marvelous AAAW title in January this year. So that is the history there behind this match and the match on the Marvelous show. So with Maya Yukihi, so she's been taking sort of selected dates and like trying to like mount a return following a really bad arm injury in late 2024 on a super strong style pro wrestling show. I always forget what the acronym is for SSPW. I noticed like earlier in the year she was sort of like avoiding bumping on that arm, but she looks a lot more comfortable now. So she's been taking more dates as well. So I think she might be ramping up. I don't want to get my hopes up, but she might be ramping up. She is on Ice Ribbon's Korakuen Hall show, facing Karari Wakana in a singles match. So I'll see what she looks like there as well. But she's looking better.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, I know that she kind of still is taking it easy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like Nightshade also worked like the majority of the match. But whenever she was in there, I was like, yeah, she looked good, I thought. In the end, she lost though.
That is correct.
Takumi.
And then in the main event, we had Kaoru Ito and Miyu Momono defeating Dash Chisako and Yu. I think this match was pretty good, largely because of Mio and Chisako fighting against each other.
Yes.
I thought they were excellent.
Absolutely. Yes. Miyu was so fucking good in this match, I think.
Yeah, she was on point.
And this Miyu was Dash, what you call it, sequence was absolutely incredible.
So many near falls, a lot of fast-paced action, and then Mio picked up the win with the JK bomb on Chisako, and I was actually surprised at this. Chisako, I don't think eats pins a lot. Even in tag matches, she doesn't normally eat the pin. But I guess
you either.
Yeah, I guess you gets pinned even less. So. But I just thought Mia would lose in this match. So I guess I was just pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely, yeah. Nah, I was completely like, locked into Mio losing this one. Yeah. No way that I thought you would lose, but yeah, positively surprised.
Yeah, I'll see if it goes anywhere.
Great little surprise finish.
Then after the match, the Great Sakuya, which is Rico's Monday Magic gimmick. I absolutely despise it. She came out and she misted Mio, so that's a Monday Magic Friday Night Gacha storyline, and yeah, I don't care about it.
I skipped it this time because you said you didn't want to cover it.
Yeah. All right. So then we're now in the world of EVO. So the world of Zones.
Hell yeah.
I thought the show was pretty good. So in the opener, it was Chi-Chi versus Chica. So this was probably Chica's biggest match yet, I think, against EVO's homegrown star of Chi-Chi. So Chica's opponents have basically exclusively been against freelancers. I guess if you don't count Aki Shizuku as an EVO roster member, because she's never marketed as one. So this match was like a big step up in her development to be given that match. Not only that, but it was also Chica's longest ever singles match in her short career so far. For Chi-Chi, this was basically just a tune-up match because she wants to face Yu before Yu's retirement on 28th of December. And that's because Chi-Chi debuted against Yu as well. So I thought this match was...
They announced the match too, right?
Oh, already? Yeah. It might be on the next EVO show, but I don't have.
I mean, if Chi-Chi can go, I think she's out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, she's back on. I think she was just announced for Sendai Girls on the 25th.
Oh, really? I thought I read somewhere that she would be out for like 2 to 3 weeks or something. But
yeah, today in the news,
it's not that bad then.
Yeah, I saw she was announced. I was surprised. I was like, why did Sendai Girls announce her? So I guess she's she's going to keep working maybe with a mask. I don't know. We'll see. Yep, this was an okay match. And then we had a Chocopro match, I guess, on this EVO show. It was Rina Yamashita and Sayaka Obihiro against Mia Yotsuba and Soy, who are all working in Chocopro. Obviously, Rina Yamashita is the Chocopro champion. Soy is an EVO member, but she's been working in Chocopro since episode 393 in September 2024. She brought over her Chocopro tag partner, Mia Yotsuba. So they both unsuccessfully challenged for the Asia Dream tag team titles in Chocopro in May in a great match against the champions Makoto and Sayaka. And Mia Yotsuba herself is Mei Suruga's student. And she unsuccessfully challenged Mei for the title this year. And I thought it was just a fine match, but Rina looked pretty good and she had a pretty great super kick. They traded forearms. I think Mia is probably going to challenge Rina at some point in Chocopro. It just feels like a future Super Asia match. Mia is more of like a power wrestler and a hard hitter. Not really what you're used to in Chocopro, but she's still improving and getting better and better. And she only has 3 years of experience. Rina pinned Mia with the impact, so no match anytime soon, I guess. But sometimes they have done title matches in Chocopro where a loser gets a title match. So that is a common Chocopro way to book a title match. And then, finally, the main event. Tim, take it away. Wait, you saw this, right?
I did see this,
you said you liked it more than the other one. Yeah.
All right, I just gotta note something here real quick. Awesome. Yeah, I really dug this match. Like, I thought this was better than the Mio Momono match, honestly. I think Sonas makes maybe for a better opponent for Miku, because she can, like... I mean, as you said, Mio is also fantastic at, like, beating the crap out of a rookie, but I think Sonas did very well here, like at just playing the bully for Miku. And I think Miku also like looked a lot more hopeful in this match, I guess. Like she got more offense in, I guess, on Sonas than she did on Mio. There was one really scary moment, I thought. I don't know if you noticed that when Miku did like this head scissors, Hurricane Rana, whatever, and Sonas countered it, so she stopped her momentum and like swung her back in the other direction, and Miku just kind of dropped and landed on her head. Yeah. I thought that was disaster for a second, but apparently it wasn't. And then pretty much soon after, Sonas did a big ass lariat for the win. Yeah, there was one Miku hope spot that I thought fucking ruled. That was so good. It almost like got me from a Miku might win perspective, but yeah, I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. What were your thoughts?
So I've been, as part of the Social Suplex newsletter, I've been writing about Zonez's improvement over the past few EVO shows. So specifically, when she beat Chi-Chi for the title in EVO, I think that kind of lit a fire under her ass. It was like a low-level match of the year contender match for me on the indie, one of the best match on the indies in 2025, I think. And I think it's Chi-Chi and Zonez's best match of their career. But following on from that, she had a great match with Soy and gave her a match that I had no idea Soy had in her, but Zonez brought it out of her. And then last month, Zonez and Chi-Chi met in a tag match, and again, they were really good together. But I think this match kind of exposed a bit of a weakness in Zonez, in that I think she's not as good when she has to go against wrestlers and put on a traditional pro wrestling match, if you know what I mean. Like, this was like a traditional Miku as the underdog babyface having to overcome Zonez. Mm-hmm. I think she's much better when she can just like throw bombs at her opponent, and she's awesome in those type of matches. But she was less strong in this match against Miku, and I thought Miku completely outshone Zonez. I thought Miku was awesome in this match. Just the way she sold. She was sort of like working Zonez's arm throughout the match. So the first point that happened was when Zonez did a lariat and Miku dodged out, and then Zonez hit the arm on the ring post. And Zonez just forgot that happened at random times, where she would just like stop selling it, and she would like go back to like posing, with her muscles and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys are telling a story about the arm being damaged, and the only reason I bring that up is because Miku did continue to work it again and again. Like, she latched on an armbar, she put on a double armed wing clutch, which I've seen Miku do a lot, and she tied it in the ropes and started drop kicking it. Right? So Mika was doing all this shit to the arm, and then Zonas was just sort of like not selling it as well as she could have. I know it's a nitpick, but I think that kind of indicates like what level Zonas is at. Like she's really good at throwing bombs, but with like the traditional like main event style matches, I think she still needs to improve.
Yeah, I guess I give you that. Yeah,
Mika was awesome.
I liked it better than you, I guess, but I see your point.
No, I still thought the match was awesome. I'm kind of nitpicking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I still really liked it. I like I said, okay. Miku carried the match for me though. Like she is the reason why I really enjoyed this match.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So I thought there were some callbacks in there as well. So also Miku is really quick at running the ropes. I don't know if you noticed. She is just she's fucking fast. So she just hit Zonas with a bunch of drop kicks, and then she stretched Zonas' arm out. To a double-armed wing clutch, which was the one that Zonas hit the ropes immediately with earlier in the match. This time she had her in there for quite a while. I can't even thought that was like a kind of tap there. That was such a sick submission. Then she even tried her signature jackknife pins, but no success. So Miku tried everything. She had nothing left in the tank. So then Zonas just threw her around with a series of German suplexes and then decapitated her with a running lariat, which was awesome.
I think that was actually the hope spot that I meant earlier. This arm submission.
Yeah, that one
really
was
like excruciating.
I almost bit on it. Even though there's no way Miko was going to win, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. it looked very close at that point.
But no, Miku was fucking awesome, I think.
Absolutely. I have a question. Like Miku doesn't count as a rookie anymore, right? She spent a couple of years in actress.
I have seen some people call her a rookie, and I'm kind of, I don't get it, because actress, they do wrestling. They do pro wrestling matches. I wouldn't consider her a rookie.
Maybe that's the reason people just don't count actress or something. I don't know.
It's her first year outside of Actress Girls, but I wouldn't call her a rookie, but maybe others do, whatever. I wouldn't though.
Yeah. I got a greater question. I don't know if we have to do this on this podcast, but I wanted to ask. I read some opinions lately about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And people saying if you don't vote for Senka, you're crazy. But to you, who are you more impressed by, Senka or Sareee?
Between those two, Senka. Just because I think Senka's like, what she's done is probably more. It's so pro wrestling magic, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like, it's something that just doesn't happen very often, where she just like captures the heart of people watching her. So she just encapsulates a feeling that I think wrestling should be about, basically. So I would have her against over Sareee, but there's a lot of other good candidates. Like Hamare in Dragon Gate is fucking an insane rookie. Anri in Actress Girls is another really good rookie, and then you got Daiki Odashima in Noah, who just won the junior tag team titles, and all of Sumo Hall was fucking chanting his name as a rookie, like Daiki, and huge pop, by far the biggest pop on the entire night. So you can't really exclude him either. So there's a lot of good candidates, but I would probably vote Senka.
All right.
But Sareee is like, if someone votes for her, I'm definitely not going to say that's stupid. Like, all of them are valid votes, in my opinion.
Yeah. Where would you rank like someone like Kikyo or Emma?
Oh man, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was wondering if it was a hot take that I think there are some other rookies that have maybe developed faster than the Stardom ones, and I don't know if that's a hot take.
I'm never quite sure when everybody started. I think Sareee, for example, has like a 4-month head start on them, I think.
She started in January, yeah. So she's definitely ahead of...
Yeah. I think they started in April.
Yeah.
Right.
They did, yeah. They're a few months behind. Yeah.
I don't know when Shanshan started. She's
a 2024 one, so she's the class ahead.
Oh.
But like when you compare her to Rianne, for example, isn't she like so far ahead of Rianne?
Yeah, I guess. That's true. I think Rianne is really like making a lot of strides right now, but she took a long time to get any sort of improvement in, maybe. But like, I mean, Rianne is also a completely different type of wrestler, I guess. She's like really just this. She's like a Miku Kanai type of wrestler, right?
I guess, yeah.
Just like super small and just fights differently. She can't really do like, I don't know how to explain it.
She's someone you just sort of like. She's like an underdog babyface that you root for. You know, she's
exactly,
the twerp. You know.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's sort of the gimmick.
But you can't see her do like these massive wrestling moves or anything.
No,
That's just not the type of wrestler that she is.
Yeah.
And Shan is more that type, I think.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying they're developing slowly. I just think, you know, a lot of people say, you know, Stardom produced like the best rookies in the scene. They definitely develop a lot of good ones, but I don't know if they're the best.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, quick side.
No, it's an interesting question. I have thought about it recently. Cool.
Yeah.
So then afterwards we have... So I'll just quickly go through Ice Ribbon and Diana results. So the main Ice Ribbon news is Ibuki Hoshi got announced to have an ACL injury, which is a fucking disaster.
Oh, I read this today.
It's a disaster.
It's like a year, right?
Oh, yeah.
8 months to a
it's
year,
normally like
maybe?
9, yeah. So, but not even that. Yeah. Well, that is obviously bad in itself. But she was going to be in the tag title and main event of next week's Crock and Hall show. So she was pulling double duty in two title matches, and now they're going to have to redo the entire top of the card. I was really looking forward to that Crock and Hall match. I think Ibuki and Manami Katsu are great together, and seeing them in... So Katsu is also a tag champion, so she was also pulling double duty. So seeing them in 2 matches against each other in Crock and Hall on the same card would have been fucking great. It was also the title defense for Katsu that I thought I could realistically see Katsu losing, just because Ibuki has been 18 months without the title. If she lost the second time to Katsu, she wouldn't be able to challenge again, you would hope, and she lost to her in March of this year. Katsu does have some fresh matchups, like Kaho Matsushita, Tsumiko Yanagawa, Ancham, so on. Kaho has only challenged once for the title against Ibuki in December 2023. So with Ibuki's injury, they could either extend Katsu's reign to Ribbon Mania in December, which is great. Then I can see her as champion. Mm-hmm. Or it makes sense for Kaho to take the shot in place of her partner. So I don't know what they'll do. Nothing's announced yet. But yeah, that was kind of sad. So in the main event of a 13th of October show at Yokohama, it was Ayako Sato, one of Diana's best workers, Kaho and Kaori Yoneyama against Manami Katsu, Moe Hiro, and Sayaka Toyota. So Sayaka Toyota is from T-Hearts, and I think she's started to take a bit more outside bookings, which is interesting, I guess. I don't really have an opinion on her yet. I need to see her some more. She's Manami Toyota's niece. And based on how Kaho and Minami wrestled parts of this match, and also Kaho cut a promo after the main event, I do think that that's the direction. I wish what they said. I wish I knew what they said, but there were no translations by Shupro or Ice Ribbon. But I'd love to know what they said, because it looked like a great promo. But I think that's the direction.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds plausible. Yeah. Wish a speedy and best recovery.
Yeah, very sad.
And let's hope the best for Ice Ribbon here.
Yeah, it is like it's so bad. It's so much bad luck, man.
It's crazy.
It also happened in Hokkaido, I saw on a news article, but Ice Ribbon don't tour there, so it must have been on like an indie show, which is just bad luck.
Maybe she was like hiking or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So the other news is Bad Butts has a new member. I think I mentioned it last week, but this was her first pay-per-view. It's Sammy Chaos from the US independent scene. So she's bigger than Nia Jax. If you want a reference point, she won with the Vader Bomb. Tsukina Umino returned from a fractured collarbone injury against Akane Fujita. She had been out for most of 2025. They went to a 15-minute time limit draw. That was kind of hard-hitting. And then the opener was Kurari Wakana and Miku Kanai against Moran from Diana and Riko, who is 11. So Riko looks kind of pretty good. Kurari and Miku made Riko look so good. Okay. I do have a soft spot for some of these matches with the kids. It's kind of cute.
So talking about these NA talents, indie talents coming in. You asked me earlier how I think that works with Alice Crowley. I kind of diverged your question, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe the indie workers are reaching out to Japanese
I think
companies?
so. That's how I think it works.
Instead of the other way around, that like these Japanese companies are necessarily scouting US indies or whatever.
There's no way. I think they send in applications and then...
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and then they just review them and they probably do some... Maybe either a tryout when they're... Well, because TJPW are in America in July.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible she did a tryout then, for example.
Oh, that's possible, yeah.
I don't know how Ice Ribbon does it, though. Like, how do they find Sami Chaos? Like, so Yappy's English is insanely good. She's a Filipino wrestler, fluent Japanese, fluent English, so I know she handles a lot of the Ice Ribbon English stuff. So I assume Sami just hits up Yappy and sends a profile.
Yeah, maybe the same thing, yeah. She just applied.
Yeah. Cool, and that's Ice Ribbon news. So, Diana news, they just had a Future Sight show, which basically showcases young talent. They normally just go like 70 minutes or so. So, these shows and the Ice Ribbon Dojo shows, which are like 1 hour, I just really like them. I get excited for them because they're so short. It's just back-to-back wrestling. It's just my type of show. Did you like Rampage when it was on?
Yeah. Early on, I watched like every one of them. Like later, towards the end, I think I skipped most of them actually. You mean AW Rampage?
Yeah. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on like 1 hour of wrestling, which is like back to back to back.
Oh, that format I love.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
When it's booked, but like at the end of Rampage,
no, it was
just kind of stopped caring about it entirely, so I didn't care.
It depends on the matches you book still, right? And on these
right.
like Future Sight shows on Diana, they book some like really cool matches. So on this show, they had.
Is this show all year long?
They do. I think it's like one a month.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, like, if October is somewhat like the rookie month for promotions or whatever. Because, like, we've been mentioning those, like you know, Sendai Girls has the Chajaruma tournament right now. You mentioned the program in Tokyo Chocopro. You mentioned the...
Sure, yeah.
I think you mentioned another promotion that does, like, rookie shows right now. But if this is just a regular thing, then... maybe
yeah,
not.
for Dino it's a regular thing, but yeah, the other two...
And Stardom does, like, all the New Blood shows. Like,
you're right.
They have, like, 3 or 4 New Blood shows planned.
Holy shit, you're, like, seeing the Matrix. Yeah, you are right. 3 promotions are doing rookie tournaments. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But for Diana, it's a once-a-month thing, so they've always basically done this.
All right.
So, the opener was Nanami against Yuki Funa, who is Seedling's rookie, who's super green.
Mm-hmm.
Nanami's been really enjoying bullying rookies on these shows. She just beats the shit out of them. She beat the shit out of Kumu a few weeks ago, and now Yuki. So I kind of like her becoming like the rookie gatekeeper of sorts. She is a fucking 6-year vet, by the way, despite being 19. So, wait, 7-year vet now. So she choked Yuki Funa out with the Dragon Sleeper, which was cool. The next match was Debbie Kaito against Moran. This match was longer than I expected, and it was also more character work than I expected, but I enjoyed it. Moran clearly still has some things she can improve on, like she mistimes her spots or she hesitates because she's trying to go to 100 miles an hour, but she's like one of the most athletic 16-year-olds like you will see. Her moveset is fucking insane. It's super high risk. I was kind of worried about, we spoke last week about the botch with Risa Serra. She's back wrestling immediately, so maybe she was fine, or maybe she's wrestling despite having a concussion a week ago. Who knows? But she was almost full speed here. But Debbie won by spitting coffee in Moran's face. So,
oh no,
Debbie's going after Umasaki for the top title. So I was wondering what she does after that. So I don't know if she's planning to go back after, because she's been in Japan for 10 months. It's a long time.
Was she a Eve regular?
She was an Eve regular.
Yeah.
So
maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. But if I was AEW, WWE, I would be in her DMs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, sure.
She's just a good worker now. She's like improved so much within the last 10 months that she would be you know Nina Samuels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like similar pantomime-ish character. She it's just a good TV character, I think. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying she's going to be like AEW, Women's World Champion, but definitely like a good mid-carder.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Maybe even like, Yeah, Ring of Honor. I mean, they gotta stock up now with the tag team titles anyway, right?
Oh yeah, the tag team title tournament that's gonna come soon. TM. Yeah. Yeah, no, she should be good. I mean, she was in a tag team with Ayaka Sato. She just vacated them last week, right? She is a great tag team wrestler as well. So
yeah, sure.
Cool. And then the main event was Haruka Umasaki, the Dino champion, and Mizuki Kato against Seedlings Honori Hana and Waves Saran. So when you see how good Moran is and you compare her to Saran from Wave, who's also 16 and been wrestling since 2021, you see how good Moran is. Because Moran is like miles ahead of Saran athletically. So some people just click, some people take way longer, I guess. But Honori Hana and Umasaki was the main draw for me here. They have some of the hardest forearms out of their generation of wrestlers. Honori is this big bully powerhouse wrestler. It's fucking awesome. I just want to see a 15-minute singles match between these two. So, good main event. All right.
Sounds awesome. And
then Chocopro. How much of this did you watch?
I did watch the entire show, essentially.
Ooh.
I had some trouble really getting into it. Not because of the wrestling on the show, but I found Mei Suruga on commentary so overwhelming that during the matches when she was on, I could barely concentrate on anything.
Is she worse than Balianaki?
She is definitely worse than Balianaki. No. She just doesn't stop. Did you only watch the main event?
No, I watched all of it, but I'm very good at zoning out commentators. So like okay. People complain about...
I usually am too, but this was too much for me. Like my brain just malfunctioned, I think. From all the
I don't think we need
screaming from me.
Go over everything. I think the only thing I'll mention on the undercard is like Hiyori Iwata and Sayaka Obihiro. So I thought that was like kind of like a number one contenders match for Hiyori, who's a rookie. Well, she debuted in 2024. She beat Sayaka Obihiro in an upset win on the last ring show. So Obihiro just wanted to prove that, a singles bout was a bit trickier. Hiyori was trying to, stamp her credentials. Well, did you want to talk about any match before that? I didn't really have anything. Oh, I guess there was the U match you might want to talk about.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun match.
Yeah.
Best Buds against Kaori Yoneyama and you. I thought like I've been not the biggest fan of you ever, but like the more I see of her recently when she's like on her retirement tour, she is actually a very funny person, I think. So I have a lot more fun watching her right now.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, she pinned Balianaki, right? Yeah.
No, I think it was.
Or was that no? Kaori Yoneyama pinned him.
Yoneyama picked up. She did an O'Connor roll on Aki.
Yeah. Before that was just an intergender match. This wasn't really. I mean, I love Koishikawa whenever I see her, so I was just watching for her, basically, but fun little opener, I guess. Other than that, there was a Soy match after the Obihiro vs. Yawata match that you already talked about.
Oh, yeah, but I should say that Obihiro won, so Hiyori probably isn't going off the title.
She pinned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Have you probably know Akari, right? She's from Pure J, I think.
Yeah. They were in Itsubashi Green Hall, which is a venue that's regularly run by Pure J. So it kind of made sense that there was some Pure J representation on the card. So it was Akari from Pure J, Mia Yotsuba and Soy, which we mentioned earlier on the EVO show, against Hanako Nakamori, who's Pure J's ace basically, and then the tag team champions for Chocopro, Makoto and Sayaka. Akari's last time in Chocopro was 2022, and Nakamori's previous time was on Emi Sakura's 25th anniversary show in 2020.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I've seen an Akari match before. I was surprised. She's from Chile.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So it's really.
I don't know how she got there, but that's awesome.
Well, it's really interesting. Did you know that Stephanie Vakir did some Stardom dates in 2018?
I've heard of that. I think Welke and I talked about that.
Yeah, so she teamed with
Joshi'ing around.
She teamed with Mayu against Oedetai. I was looking into it because I wanted to see if Akari or Vakir had the first dates in Japan, because I saw some discussion that Vakir basically said she got the La Primera nickname because she was the first, South American in Japan, in Mexico, and stuff like that. And so I wanted to see if, who was actually the first Chile, because they're both from Chile, right? So I wanted to see who was the first one in Japan. And technically, Vakir did have some dates in Japan before Akari, but Akari kind of she definitely established herself in Japan before Vakir ever did. She's been in Pure J since 2019 nonstop. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Akari's.
It kind of always surprises me to see these gaijins from wherever in the world being in these really small Japanese promotions.
Do you know what's fucking crazy? Her Japanese is insanely good. So they do live streams after their shows, and they just talk with fans. I think that's a really cool touch, by the way. so that's why I kind of like the smaller promotions. They have such good fan interaction where you can just go to the YouTube chat and talk with them, and they will answer your questions like the wrestlers themselves. And Akari's just talking in Japanese the entire time, so she can read Japanese. She can, so that always amazes me the most.
Yeah, that's great. I think you. When did you say she arrived in Japan?
2019. She's been in Pure J since
2019. Yeah, I guess 6 years. I mean, if you live there for that amount of time, you probably just.
It's not an easy language.
No, not at all. I've tried and given up 3 times. So
I'm in the process.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, and then we had the main event actually. I mean, I think they pinned Miya Yotsuba.
Makoto beat Miya Yotsuba. She dodged a Mii Hammer and then she won with Genosuke clutch.
Was it Makoto? I wrote
Makoto, yeah, it was Makoto. So I think they were building towards another title challenge with Soy and Yotsuba. They seem to do this thing where the challengers lose before challenging. I mentioned it earlier, so I think that's the same thing here, but we'll see.
All right. Cool. After that, we had Rina Yamashita and Antonio Honda. I got a question, Eric.
Oh,
it's nothing music related.
Oh, okay.
Why do you think Rina Yamashita always wears a jacket around her waist?
A what around her waist?
She always has a jacket tied around her waist.
Oh, does she? Oh, yeah, I guess she does.
You never noticed her gear? That she always wrestles in that. I always find that kind of distracting. Or I think it kind of it feels to me like it must be very inconvenient wrestling with a jacket tied around your waist at all times.
Well,
maybe she's used to it by now, but I don't know if I like that aspect of Rina Yamashita, I guess.
That's always someone that's always ready to leave the party. They got their jacket around them.
Yeah,
are you one of those people that gets anxious when people are standing around because you think they're going to leave? I used to have that as a kid.
I'm more one of those people who wants to leave.
Okay, yeah, you're the one standing up. Well, then you should like the jacket. She's just ready to leave. She's ready to beat people up and leave.
Yeah, maybe. It just looks inconvenient to me.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, this was a fun little match, I thought.
I thought this match was fucking great.
It was, yeah, actually pretty fucking awesome.
Maybe it's because I rarely see Honda be serious, so...
Yeah, same. He had one little comedy spot, but...
He had one comedy spot.
Otherwise, he was pretty much serious, yeah.
And this is only the second time this year he has been serious out of hundreds of matches. The last time he was serious was King of DDT tournament when he subbed in for Masahiro Takanashi, who was injured with a neck injury in March, and I think he's still recovering. By the way, since we were in the Chocopro section, you can support him by buying some merch and support his recovery. Emi Sakura is obviously very close to him, and Chris Brooks and the whole Chocopro gang, so feel free to check out his merch. Just Google Masahiro Takanashi merch. And it's also a good merch. I like it. But yeah, so he subbed in for him in the tournament, and then he was super serious, and it was a fucking awesome match against Yuki Ueno. And this is only the second time. So I was really into this match.
Yeah, they were actually wrestling. They were grappling on the mat, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so Anton is obviously known for his comedy, and Rina's known for the no bullshit style. So it was a rare Anton performance. They grappled with no strikes for a few minutes. Anton caught Rina in a leg lock, And then Rina tried to pull Anton's hair to break the hold before realizing he had no hair. Which is, so they got the comedy out very early. Where he did he called for a timeout because, Rina kicked him right in the leg.
Kick to the side of the leg.
Yeah, exactly. So he did a time attack and then wore the dreads over his bald head so he could look cute. What do you think of Rina's dreads, by the way? Because she stopped wearing them on the Stardom show. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't notice that she stopped.
Yeah, she had straight hair on the Stardom show. I thought it looked super good.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
When she came out to challenge Hate for the titles with Aoki.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Right. These are like what are they called? Not cornrows, but like
dreads, right?
I think dreads are when they're like really what's the word?
Tight. Uberhausen?
Matted?
Oh.
Is it called matted hair?
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Like these are only like shit. Now I gotta look up another word.
Hausaufgaben? I'm just saying
these are braided, right? These are braids. And dreads are when it's actually matted. And
okay,
like
I didn't know the difference, to be honest.
Solid things. Yeah. I never quite know if I'm the person to make any sort of judgment on that. I heard the guys from ONR being like a little iffy about Julia having the braids.
Oh, really?
Because it's basically like black culture.
It is, but she's always had them, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And I think they've always been like kind of laughing at her about that. So, I don't know. I guess it's more like your call to make if the braids are cool on Rina Yamashita or not.
I think they're cool, but I think she looked better with the straight hair when I saw her. But
okay.
But who knows? Yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah. So then there was some really cool, I guess, back and forths because they were kind of hitting each other quite stiffly. And there was some running strikes from Anton, which is, again, something you don't see a lot. They shook hands. They held each other's hands so they couldn't defend each other's strikes, which I thought was kind of cool in a match between these two. That's something you see against like Shuji Ishikawa or something in BJW in the strong division or something. So it was funny to see it here. So Anton did an octopus stretch, which Rina transitioned into her impact driver, which I bought as the finish because that was kind of sick. But Anton kicked out. And then, so Anton's selling at this point I thought was really good. He stumbled around the ring and then he landed in the corner. And then Rina lifted him up into a crucifix position and finished him off with the Splash Mountain. So really good match, I thought.
I agree.
Cool. The next show is Emi Sakura's 30th anniversary on the 30th of October. Awesome. And the card is fucking stacked so far. It's Mei Suruga versus Izumi. So obviously they had that awesome match in 2022 for the high-speed title. Mm-hmm. I remember that match fondly. It was one of the first few matches I watched when I was getting into Stardom. So love that match. Then they have Miya Yotsuba versus Riho. So Riho is obviously, yes, AEW wrestler, but also the first Super Asia champion. So she obviously has a history with Chocopro and Emi Sakura. And then it's Balian Aki and Chris Brooks versus 0-1 duo, Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka. So Hayabusa is the new Hayabusa, so no one knows who he is. I still never bothered to watch his 30-minute time limit draw with Tanaka. It was a Mask versus Career match, but I haven't seen it. But I've heard good things.
I think I watched his debut, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing since.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. And no other matches so far.
Definitely. Have you ever seen Hayabusa?
This
original
Hayabusa or the real one?
The original one.
I have not, no.
Okay. I'm a big Hayabusa fan.
Oh, really?
I used to, as a kid, I used to download all these FMW matches from the 90s and watch them all the time.
So cute.
And like Hayabusa was like my favorite guy. I mean, it was more like as a teen, I guess, maybe like 13, around that age. When I don't know if you ever had, if you are too young for that, but when you had these like file sharing hosters like Kazaa and Bearshare or whatever.
I just remember LimeWire. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah, I used to like download random wrestling matches all day. Yeah. Lots of FMW stuff. I love that stuff. But yeah, I'm actually a big Hayabusa fan, so maybe I should watch out more for this for the new Hayabusa. Is he called Hayabusa 2 or the new Hayabusa?
They just called him
What's his
Hayabusa.
official? Just Hayabusa.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with 01 is they don't air a lot of their matches. So I think the only one, you saw his debut, you said, but I think the other one is the Mask versus Korea match with Tanaka. So I still haven't seen it, but maybe that's a good one to seek out. And then obviously this one. So I'm looking forward to this card.
Yeah, me too. Awesome.
Chris Brooks is so fucking
Azumi vs. May is just... Yeah.
Do you like Chris Brooks?
Chris Brooks too. I do.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he is. I'm always kind of like... I think he has a bit of a weird... Like I'm starting to be more and more like a looks person, but...
You're about to Joe Lanza me
I'm not
right
a big
now.
fan of his look, but I'm a big fan of his like style in wrestling and what he does in the ring. He's a fun guy. I like Chris Brooks a lot.
Do you like fun?
I guess he has to wear the shoulder guard, right? That's probably injury related.
I have no idea what the story behind that is.
Me neither.
I like the look because
Anyway.
DDT is a very woman-coded promotion. Like they're drawing a lot of women, and he is very popular. That kind of look, what's it called?
Is that a women attraction look?
Yeah,
I never
there's a word
looked
for
at
it.
like that.
When you fuck.
When you fuck.
No. No, not when you fuck. No, is it Icky Man? What?
Ikemen is... Oh yeah, I think that actually...
There's a term for people that look like this style of look.
Yeah, I think I actually read this about Ikemen, that he named himself after something like this.
Yeah, so I think that's...
Jiro.
Yeah, Jiro, yeah. So I think that's...
Because he always does the pose, right, with the jacket?
Yes.
Like he's like some sexy model or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what Ikemen kind of is.
Yeah.
Right, maybe.
But it's like cute kawaii boys, so...
Yeah.
Or like really handsome,
I
well-polished sort of shit. I don't know.
I never really clocked Chris Brooks' look as that.
Okay, it's maybe not... No, but it's like... it's a bit...
If that came across that way, that's not what I meant initially. But anyway.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Like, that's not what I dislike about it. I just kind of think he looks kind of weird sometimes with his pants and shoulder guard. I don't know.
The shoulder guard is definitely...
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain why I sometimes get distracted by certain gear choices from wrestlers, and sometimes
That's fine. I understood your point, Joe Lanza. That's okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. All right. We're on match of the week.
We are. I didn't actually watch too much wrestling this week outside of what we discussed. I wouldn't even remember anything outside of, I think it's Koguma and Husky for me, quite simply.
Cool. For me, it is Dragon Gate. So Hamari, Kazuma Kimura, and Shun Skywalker against Gajidokura, which is Ishin Kai and Yoshiki Kato, on the 8th of October at Kroken Hall. That match was just a fucking awesome spot fest. So yeah, that's kind of what I like. And then my runner-up was Zack versus Takeshita. So
yeah, that makes sense. I have yet to watch the full Zack and Takeshita match. So
I can't see what Dave
probably
is
have
saying
been
about
it
it,
as
to be
well.
honest. I don't know if it's just me, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't get...
He was like all around the best match this year or whatever.
That's fucking insane.
Something to that degree.
And it's
I
insane
don't really...
because New Japan fans don't even agree. Or like, I didn't see that sort of hype in some channels that I looked at.
No, me neither. I think the real New Japan fans from the West are probably sour about the match more than anyone, because they all hate Takeshita for some reason.
Yeah.
And the booking. But maybe, yeah, what Dave said still sounded absurd to me. But I have yet to watch the match. I can't really make that judgment right now. But I would be surprised if it beats out like my top matches of the year.
For sure.
Honestly.
What is your... Oh, okay. Both our number ones is Tam and Saya, right?
Yeah, I don't know if... But definitely the 427 one.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the 427.
Yeah. I think the Korakuen was also
I mean, it's fucking good, but
I wouldn't even know how to rank anything. I haven't really thought about it. I think like second Godo would be up there, and Kenny and
Gabe,
Sareee,
Syuri,
Hangman. Yeah, Syuri.
Yeah.
I mean, Hangman Osprey, Hangman Moxley, maybe. Not sure what else would be up there, but definitely like nothing will ever top Tam and Zaya.
Yeah, no. So, like, there's nothing that's going to knock that off for probably. I don't even know if it will ever will, to be honest. So
no, same.
Cool. Anything else?
Not for me, I guess. Do we have anything to preview? I don't think we need to preview anything.
Nah.
You kind of did already.
We did. It's the Oz Academy. Sorry for clicks. It is. What do we got next week? So we got Sayaka Karawa's Homecoming, which would be kind of cool, I think. Starlight Kids Produce Show on 20th. That'd be fun. I think that's on pay-per-view.
Oh, that is next week already.
I don't know who the third opponent is or if it's been announced. But it's her, Dragon Kid.
I don't think it has been yet.
And El Desperado against Kyoko Inoue, Shingo Takagi, and X. And the story behind that is Starlight Kid's mum is a big fan of Kyoko Inoue. So that's literally the only link.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then
but the horse tournament continues, right?
The horse tournament continues on the 17th.
In 3 days, I think. 17th, yeah.
Oh, I watched that video you sent me. You know when you were sending me the video about how much you love the Uma Manase game and how you played it all the time? Yeah, I did watch that video. So thank you for that, Tim. And then we've also got TJPW at Croken Hall on the 18th, which we previewed earlier. We've got the Big Marvelous Show, which we also previewed, which is Senka versus Takumi. We've got Oz Academy, which we also previewed, the Yokohama Budokan. Well, I didn't tell you all the matches, but the main event is Sekigun versus Hate. Then we have there's a JTO Girls tag team match on New Japan, which I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
That's Aoi. It's literally AOI. Aoi. Aoi.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome. And Azusa Inaba versus Rhythm and Tomoka Inaba. And they have fought each other twice already in August. And JTO, for some reason, has started uploading stuff. And I've watched them, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's like the third installment. So,
how's Rhythm doing?
So
I haven't seen her in like 3 years.
I was going to say, so I haven't watched Rhythm before these uploads this year, and I saw other people saying, does she still suck? And I was like, what? Because this is my first time seeing her, and I was like, I really liked her in all of these matches. So, yeah.
I never thought that she sucked. I always kind of rooted for her. I kind of liked her for some reason, but I never got to see much of her.
I'm into her. So
she wasn't the greatest wrestler back then when she first hit up on the scene, but I can totally imagine that she gotten better.
Well, if you have time, you can watch that match because it's on the New Japan show, which is kind of so that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then we have just some Actress Girls, and then that's it. So that's next week.
Awesome. Great. Then thank you for another great episode, Eric.
Thank you for bearing with us, guys, because we did have terrible days. And
oh yeah, our days were awful today.
Yeah,
so I'm tired as fuck too. I'm gonna go right to sleep after this.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna edit the podcast until tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys. So you won't get to hear it. This all doesn't make any sense. Anyway, you get to hear it when you get to hear it. Please follow us on Spotify and wherever you listen to it, YouTube, whatever. Give us a 5-star rating, subscribe, like, comment, and don't bother us with anything else.
All right, thanks, guys. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.